Hello everybody, welcome back to Watch Dogs, and we are going to be joining Kevin and Fran right now.
And don't bother going for the box gem in this.
No, that's I'm not doing it right now. I know. Ooh, blue gem pattern.
Who got in?
Who do you think?
Alex?
Yep.
Hey man, what's up?
Not much, how about you?
Been playing Cyber Sleuth again. Fran is playing Crash 2 and not Madden.
And you have no less than half a dozen boobs on screen right now.
If you think about it, you're not wrong.
Hey, I could have 8 boobs on screen if I were playing the female protagonist.
Got that secret gem with like barely 5 seconds left.
Oh what? Yeah, now kill yourself.
Well, hey, between Miss Absolute Cleavage and the cat girl, with the big titties over there, or you almost have. Okay, so I need to remember what the hell I was doing here last week.
Got a fucking clue.
What were you? Oh wait, you were playing Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Let's see here. Campaign. Okay, so that's the next campaign.
So I have
stop.
the anime titties that would make Neil Druckmann and himself. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes.
I had to muster up my most effeminate voice.
I've got something for you.
That's literally what it sounded like.
Yes. That's the point.
Face to face.
Alright, back to hang 8.
Should I look for a guy
Yep.
in a mask? No mask.
Okay, I think. Okay, I'm not sure if you can get the box gem in that level.
I'm probably not considering that blue gem platform.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. If I can get it, if I'm able to get it, I'm able to get it. If not,
yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Hey, as long as you don't die before then, you could probably get it.
No.
This is the death row.
So, in case you're wondering, Alex, about like what we're talking about with like gem paths in Crash 2, basically in Crash 2, starting with Crash 2, when you get at a colored gem, there's a point in the game where there's a point in the stage where you end up getting to a special route where you can and basically break a bunch of boxes and get another gem to add to your collection.
Yeah, I seem to recall that from the Big Adventure or whatever the hell it was on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, so this is the game where it came from, not this version, obviously.
Like the original version of Cortex Strikes Back introduced that concept.
I have 100%ed both Cortex Strikes Back and Warped. I still need to go back and 100%
Crash 1.
Crash 1. Maybe I'll do that in
this version.
Yeah, because I'm not touching the original version with this 39.5-foot pole.
Does that include Stormy Ascent?
Yes.
People are like, oh, what's wrong with you as I'm running along? I'm just like have you never seen somebody running in a hurry to get somewhere? You know what? I'm already almost here.
I have seen Tenya Ida in My Hero Academia rushing to make sure everybody's seated. He's like, alright, homeroom class is about to begin. Everyone stop what you're doing and take your seats. And then they're like, we are seated. You're the only one who's standing. Dang it.
It's like he's unintentionally goofy. That's the thing with
you know, if I could get a My Hero Academia watch party going, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh yes.
Alex could probably riff on some of the dub actors.
Let's see here.
Or the way to explain what determines you getting a quirk. That's
True.
The only
Oh yeah, that is I
That's a bit of a
love
gripe I got.
I love My Hero Academia to pieces, but that is still
It's a bit of a freaking weird ass gripe.
that is weird, but it is but it at least is an explanation.
Yeah, I know. There is that.
Let's see here.
Even though
Investigations.
it's kind of freaking stupid.
There's
It
a
is
lot
dumb, but but in real life there are oddly specific circumstances for or various factors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now that I get, but what? Okay, an X-ray on your foot that determines whether or not you have a quirk. Like, really?
Basically, what determines if a
Well,
person
I'm
has a
not
quirk
making
is
it
if a person has an extra toe joint in their smallest toe, they are
pinky toe.
quirkless. Whereas if they don't have that joint, they have a quirk.
Okay, so collect 10 briefcases and you can get this Chrysler here, which is called the Magnet LE, but it's really a Chrysler 500, it looks like.
Yeah, that sounds like a freaking
Nice.
GTA, a vehicle in GTA.
Yeah, the Vespid LE, these 7 burner phones, and you can get this knockoff, looks like a cross between a Camaro and a Dodge Charger. Then you can get a Tommy gun.
Oh, Fran, I just realized
What?
I mixed up this level with the second in second in
Oh, the
segments.
second water level.
Second segment's surf level, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you collect 17
I kinda
QR
figured.
codes, which are a bitch and a half for each of them. No, 16. Then you'll get the Tommy gun. Then you can get a
Ow.
you can get a
Forgot that.
camouflage assault rifle if you find 6 missing persons. And then you can get a different colored suppressed assault rifle if you collect 9 shipping crates. And then each of those
Okay.
are attached to trophies.
Alex, the only reason I keep on asking if there are certain criticisms and whatnot to my wanting to basically redo the entirety of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, or it's mostly due to the fact that it's part of the reason why I'm somewhat on writer's strike is just rather on writer's block is just because of the fact that I am unsure of how any of my writing is actually received.
Honestly, the most important thing to do there is don't care about it. Just write it down, figure it out later on.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, this Vespid 5.2, that is clearly a Ford Mustang. I have it's actually got a grill from a Chevy Camaro, but it is otherwise a Ford Mustang right down to the headlights.
Dude, that sounds like every car in GTA 5.
Yeah. And then we have a sunroom, which
Literally,
looks like
outside their symbol, it looks like certain cars.
Yeah, and then the
just
sunroom
a
here,
mix.
it looks like a cross between a Porsche and a Corvette. And then we have a Lamborghini and a
wow.
Corvette, which is the Amargosa Turbo.
All right, now that we're finished hanging out, now it's time to go down to the pit.
Collect 4 audio logs to acquire the D12 shotgun, which is basically a pistol that shoots shotgun rounds.
I got a shotgun.
A pistol that shoots shotgun rounds? What the hell?
Yes, basically.
Hey, Claire's pistol can be upgraded to shoot Magnum rounds.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. I shouldn't just base
First
my
I'm on
entire
paranoia.
experience. I shouldn't base my entire experience on Resident Evil 2 off the remake, but I haven't really
Express your mind, go
I haven't
for
really played the original, how could I not? Plus, I have seen a lot of the original, which is certainly quite interesting.
If you
I'll
have
say the least.
If you have a Wii U, you can get the GameCube version running via a thing called Nintendo.
That's how DedSec works.
I have a Wii, so I could run the GameCube version on that.
Yeah, you could also use Nintendo on that, which lets you force stuff like widescreen and progressive scan, so they don't have to deal with bullshit like interlace.
I need to get an SD card to do that, though.
I have a 128 gigabyte SD card in my Wii U.
God damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Family.
So...
What?
Then again, at this point, 128 gigs is like, what, nothing? Not that much?
And you know, the weird thing is...
Why are you
like,
going, what the fuck? It's just like, no, I'm not that guy.
You know, the weird thing is every time I end up going back to thinking, like, how do I go about on these things, and Alex, if you notice, yes, I am jumping around a lot in the Part 2 portion of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, or due to the fact that there is a lot to focus on.
Yeah.
I gotta focus on the League and the Titans working together. I gotta focus on a bit of Damian's whole shindig. I gotta focus on the Outsider. Here's what they're doing with Alfred and whatnot, because Alfred is basically informing them they gotta get their stuff ready to go, and he's not going to be going with them because, yes, I am actually going to have the balls to kill Alfred.
And I just made a dumb on freaking walking into the freaking anime.
So Bad Boy 17, aka Clara, aka our love interest, is, yeah.
Sorry, I just saw Fran turn into an angel.
Yeah, because I walked right into the freaking...
Oh, angel. She's got too many pieces of metal in her face.
Dawn of a brand new day. Oh, oh, angel.
Oh my god, she has a tattoo of an hourglass with angel
know that
wings.
Song?
No, not really. She has a tattoo of angel wings on her throat.
How many
Angel
people
wings of
listen
an
to the?
hourglass.
How many people listen to the Japanese version of that song as opposed to the dub version?
Considering the fact that the dub version is the only one that I can find on YouTube ever.
You can find the Japanese one on there.
Well, yeah, but it's not in the top results, and you know, I can't find.
You did a search for. Ow!
Well, I guess that's
One thing I hate about backtracking.
They work together.
I also can't find any
you can't
CD
really.
rips.
Yeah,
Because you can't really see much
like,
of
What the hell where are you? Yeah.
you can't really see much of where you're going and when you
you're going at all.
backtrack. Hence why you got to strategically decide when you break a checkpoint in box. Most people would prefer to go to like the right path before they go on down to the left path, and just kind of backtrack from the right path.
Okay, boom. That's taken care of. Boom. Now backtrack.
It's actually kind of funny. Aiden has more hair on his head than Clara does. She's got like a mohawk. Let's see here, extra battery, that'll come
So,
in handy.
and you know, recently I had posted it to Alex, the meeting between Dick, Egg Superman, and Sexy Lexi. Which, by the way, if you remember from the Robot Chicken skit, that's basically a reference to when Lex Luthor was in high school on the Smallville talent show.
Yeah, I'm a chorus now.
He called himself Sexy Lexi of the rock band Sex Luthor. Wonky Dick, you're doing it again!
I swear to God, I'm awake. I swear. Been up since like 6 in the morning. That's why I'm morning shift.
Okay, listen to this.
Yeah,
Blackout.
I
Point
know that
cost
feeling.
1. Create chaos by plunging the city into darkness. Help all those whining citizens conserve power for the city. Warning, may cause open sparks, which is also pretty awesome. And it costs 1 point to just knock out the power in the city. As opposed to...
like a citywide blackout.
yeah. as opposed
Would you
to
think
adding
that's like
more
5?
battery capacity to my phone, which requires 3 points.
Oh, and Alex, in case you're wondering why I have Damien be with a bunch of monks, it's a reference to at the end of Batman versus Robin and a bit of the beginning of Batman Bad Blood, where he was training where he was up with a bunch of monks, and then he decided to come back to Gotham after he heard that.
My name is Kane. I will help
it now.
Or, sorry, should that be... My name is Kane, I will help you. Do you know what that's a reference to?
What is it a reference to?
Have you... Kane? Kwang Chai Kane? Or Kang Chai Kane? I can't remember.
No, I don't. I got nothing.
Kung Fu?
I don't watch the stuff you guys watch.
You've never watched Kung Fu?
No.
Okay, do you at least know who David Carradine is?
Yes, I know who David Carradine is. He's Bill in Kill Bill.
Okay, so you know who David
You don't know
Carradine
the
was.
rules than just Bill and Kill Bill. You do know that, right?
Okay, so you know who David Carradine was. Okay, can I now inform you that David Carradine played Kane in the show Kung Fu?
Really? That's interesting.
Yes.
To track your caller.
I don't watch the stuff you nerds watch.
Ah, yes, I wouldn't want to be too nerdy in front of a Digimon fan, now would I?
Things like that.
An office tower.
We need to find a way into the
I only say you guys are nerds just because you guys... I see...
As much as nerds as we are.
Most vulnerable.
About
Check out where they
what?
take deliveries.
Looks like underground.
Where you want me to start?
Start there. Hey, I'm sorry I was...
just in general.
I know what you were doing.
Let's
Trying to intimidate.
Dude, everything you talk about on here basically makes people scream out, nerd!
Physical contact.
Nerd!
You're trying to look for cracks. So did you find any?
Alright, he's there, Luke Gallows.
So, basically... So I find it interesting that Funimation has acquired the, streaming rights to Naruto about... how many years late?
They have I didn't know that.
They have the streaming rights to the original Naruto dub and sub.
That's odd. One would think
Yes.
Warner Brothers would want to put that on HBO Max. By the way, Warner Brothers owns Viz, so yeah.
Yeah, we're aware.
And Crash can't freaking play
Or at least they're
around with Yu-Gi-Oh! Just
they're
saves life.
part owners of Viz.
So, whoa, you're showing off the idle animations?
Yeah, just for the hell of it. Okay, speaking of HBO Max, any thoughts on the Snyder Cut?
Fuck yeah. Only been waiting 3 years.
I'd want to see that just to understand what Snyder would have done with what was essentially Justice League Dark.
Yeah, like had certain situation on.
Yeah, it's so, you know.
And you know the funny thing is at the end of
It's a
of
straight line in front of me, GPS. Why are you giving me something that's even farther?
Meeting with Superman and then with Superman and Dave and Dick. It's like Dick asks him if there was any like sort of ulterior motive to this whole shindig, but then and Lex is like, yeah, Bruce was kind of, wasn't very trustworthy, and he kind of had the smart judgment and whatnot.
Yeah.
Basically,
okay, right. It's
Lex making a reference to the fact that Bruce did at least have a better judgment than the big blue Boy Scout, but then he turns around and Nightwing disappears. Mm-hmm. And then Lex is like father, like son. Basically to lampshade how it's like, even though Dick is, supposed to be different from Bruce, who's in many regards, he still has a lot of attributes that connect him to Bruce.
Yep.
Question.
Sure.
Why does the security guard have a grenade on him?
Maybe he's trying to get into a game of Madden, but he wanted to make sure he went out with a bang.
No, he wanted to make sure the White Sox win the game.
And like I said, he wanted to make sure he went out with a bang.
Oh no, you've seen Dark Knight Rises. God damn it. Take a note from Bane.
Why does... We have two guys here who have explosives on them.
So, you know, Alex, it's kind of... Like, the reason why I sometimes keep like asking, like, in these talking scenes if there's any highlights, it's mostly due to the fact that it's like, these are scenes that don't really have a lot of action going for them, because everybody's just sitting around and talking. And the funny thing is, like, I wanted to write a scene where off-screen Beast Boy managed to convince Raven to just kind of spin around on one of the swivel chairs in the Hall of Justice. It's just cut, as it would be kind of funny.
Okay, now they
Raven complies. Raven complies, and then she's like, "We
enemies beware. We have waffles."
That was one of my favorite bits in the 03 cartoon. And Lex Luthor's like, "We're gonna have all this set up and launch it in 6 months." Which, by the way, I wanted it to have a reasonable time frame, and just due to the fact that
Okay, so this truck driver just saw me kill two guys, and he's not at all bothered by it. Or at least knocked them out.
Oh, and the concept of Luthor Wayne kind of came from the Injustice universe, where after, well, you'll see in the game, after the events of Injustice 1, basically Bruce ended up, Bruce ends up getting LexCorp, and he basically decides to call it Luthor Wayne.
Almost like a merger in a way.
Yeah. So basically, it's like after the event, after like so many evasions, eventually Lex decides to become business partners with Bruce, and then they're just like okay, but I'm keeping it. Bruce is like, okay, but I'm keeping an eye on you.
No way.
Though, of course, Superboy is still never gonna let Lex Luthor live down his days in Smallville High.
Right.
Because yes, in this version there would be the sexy Lexi thing, and then and Luthor's like, "How did you get this?"
Hang on, I thought I heard something.
I have my ways.
And then Connor's like, "Yeah, you know, I got my ways." It's like, you don't have ways. I don't. He's like, I don't. I could have sworn I had ways through the fact that the fact that you gave me access as to quite a bit of LexCorp. I kind of did think it was funny in Reign of the Supermen when Superboy is characterized as like this flamboyant celebrity, and I'm just like, oh dear lord.
I'll need to look the fruit on its own.
Has a restraining order from the zoo.
Okay,
what did you do?
No. Dude. There's some questions you don't want the answer to.
Inquiring Months wants to know.
Dude, not much.
See, now I have.
Dude, it's not. It's not.
See, now I have four. So, see, now I have 2 sets of tits on screen.
Got 2 sets. What the heck are you talking about? I see 1.
Did you not notice Yuko's in the room?
Dude, you gotta remember, I'm on my laptop, I'm like a few seconds behind.
How are it? This is and you know, Alex, this is probably my longest stream series out of literally any of them. What is your request?
What the hell?
Hold on.
Oh, who would have thought that standing in the middle of the road might be a bad idea?
Yeah, sure. That's totally not a bad idea, guys.
No, it works in Saints Row when we're doing insurance fraud. Yeah. Especially if you got the low gravity cheat on.
Yeah, but we need the penetrator.
That's only in the 3rd game.
Boo.
Come on. There we go.
Okay, yeah, I probably wait for the nitros, then hit him.
Yeah, you're supposed to wait until after he does the nitros. Then hit him.
I know I'm a dumbass, I know.
This Ripperoo boss fight is comparatively easier than the first games.
In Crash 1, because the pattern is like, oh my god, let me hit you.
So
yeah, it's like you just gotta wait to let him do freaking blow himself up. How the heck I'm barely out that blast radius? I have no idea.
You know, they say that okay. You want to know something funny, Alex?
Sure.
You know, in the the anime version of Naruto trying to seek out Jiraiya, I'm just like, this feels a little more, or like they just wanted to pad things out. As opposed to like the manga version where he just convinces Jiraiya right off the bat. In the manga via sexy jutsu.
Stay on your toes. It's your first day. You going on.
Okay, so there's a secret warp in the 2nd surf level.
Yeah, it's like a random spot.
No, I know where it is.
I'm doing the levels in order. So, that's alright.
Lift goes up, lift goes down. Lift goes up, lift goes down.
That sounds familiar.
You know, you would think that with both Embryo and Cortex wanting you to basically assigning you to a task and then having you do it, you would think they'd both not have minions sent out after you. You know, that would actually make sense.
Pretty sure they didn't think that Cortex did.
They're supposed to be some of the most intellectual minds in the Crash Bandicoot universe, and yet...
Dude, you wanna know what's an intellectual mind? Eggman.
True.
And some of his bosses look kind of stupid.
You're gonna keep netting people until you're dead. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, Crash Bandicoot game was about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, this game was codenamed Sonic's Ass Game.
Yeah, it was the first one was codenamed Sonic's Ass Game.
Though Cat Icarus had some other thoughts regarding Crash's bum.
Yeah, you would know about it.
Well, I would, because I watched the video.
No, that's not what I meant.
I know what you meant.
Yes.
Basically, Fran was doing... Basically, Cat Icarus once made in his June Crash month, he basically had this whole alright. Basically had this whole he basically, as a joke, did a whole tier list on Crash's butt.
Yep. Okay, platform I can't access.
See what's ahead.
Red jump.
The layout shows a wide open indoor plaza.
And now we're in
Those
this
hacks I
sort of
uploaded to your
dungeon
phone,
again.
It's a perfect distraction. You can disrupt the equipment of any guard in there.
Equipment like what?
So, Fran, you mind telling Alex about the complete version of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth?
Everything runs off computer chips.
What, like differences?
Okay.
Well, like in comparison to like the version where I'm playing right now.
Bradley Coughlin.
Oh, right now you're playing the
Oh no.
I guess
Yeah,
vanilla version. I guess?
the vanilla version, and which doesn't come with a lot of Hacker's Memories features.
Yeah, it's like basically the Hacker's Memory in mind. Because there's a feature you could transfer Digimon from regular Cyber Sleuth into Hacker's Memory, but you have to beat both games for that.
Yep.
It does have the data of Digimon from Hacker's Memory in mind, so yeah, you are able to get.
Then it also kind of adjusts a lot of the things from the first game, from what I'm told.
Yeah.
Because the first game is a little, as you can tell, is a little outdated compared to Hacker's Memory, the Gaiden game. You know what that means, right?
Sorry, I was kind of distracted listening to the audio log.
Oh. Well, basically, in a nutshell, what we were talking about is like the fact that the complete version has quite a few of the mechanics and bits from Hacker's Memory, the Gaiden game, aimed for Cyber Sleuth. Basically, while this game is going on, another whole campaign is going on at the same time.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I got the shotgun pistol.
Which, by the way, when I'm doing that game, I'm gonna be doing it New Game Plus, because as doing this game vanilla has proven to be quite a trial.
Yeah. You can tell.
Not that I'm opposed to the idea of doing both games vanilla, but I would rather do one of these games vanilla just to demonstrate a bit of it, and then just do then just steamroll through Hacker's Memory, because that game is somewhat harder.
Yeah, it can be. That'd be a time if you're not prepared.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but as long as you go out your way to get certain Digimon, you'll be fine. Susanomon.
Yep. So Alex, or let's just ask both of us. So when did we first hear of Naruto?
I think I saw it in Shonen Jump originally.
I caught a commercial advertising it for Toonami back when it was back in 05, before it was airing.
Yeah, me too.
back when they used to actually advertise anime and whatnot.
Need help here. Got it.
And, you know, for a while, people actually kind of got on the case of the English dub of the series just for the fact that the catchphrase of "believe it," which was meant to be a attempt at translating the phrase "datebayo,"
You can't go down like this.
which after a while, Miley Flanagan was just like told like, okay, we're not going to be doing the whole "believe it" thing. Let's just stop. And she was just like, okay. And we never really heard that phrase again. So instead, it was just the speech quirk was,
You know, it's kind of more like a verbal tick.
yeah, kind of like Datebayo.
Yeah. Okay, no box here.
Oh, Alex, I should tell you something. There was once a fanfic on the internet where basically a whole bunch of where basically Naruto characters end up on the run on basically Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Neji, Hinata, Sai, Gaara, and Haku and Kimimaru end up just like being out on their own after Naruto and company witnessed the third Hokage getting killed by Danzo. And they eventually, and after training with Tsunade and Jiraiya, they ended up becoming a Super Sentai group known as Hakume, with matching uniforms and everything.
Okay.
A lot of people actually like that in comparison to actual Naruto.
Honestly, after what Shippuden turned into, I can't blame him.
Someone who actually reviewed the fic on TV Tropes was just like, I gave up after the Sasuke and Sai arc. You know, the one where we finally get to meet the more fan service-y design of Sasuke.
Alright, Snow is done for now, so air crash.
Basically, yeah, air crash is where the secret warp is. I know where it is.
And the first thing
basically, it's like you bounce on a bunch of crates and get to one platform, and then you're warped.
Yep. It's like in a water section that you usually be on the board.
Yeah. So don't get on the board and just like bounce on the boxes, and then just go to the warp, and you'll be able to get to the gem path for the first snow level, so you can get the red gem.
Yeah, I see where I gotta go.
Okay, I got you in. You track the caller?
Searching now.
It's somewhat telegraphed. The other paths are a little more difficult to figure out, since, you know, they're not like right there or in front of your face.
Yeah, it's like something you gotta god dang it.
Yeah. And there you go. Now we're in the Avalon server.
See, air crash, snow go.
Yeah, and you gotta take a warp to get through air crash.
That totally bear. Never seen this level before. Totally fly. What the hell? Yep. Some secret levels right there. Oh, yeah, take it up.
Can't get clear
Take it up.
fast
You think going to the sky?
DedSec know a way to jam their scans?
Back to the first tier.
I think we do. Here it is.
Set of levels.
I'm sending it to you.
That's actually something neat, because I think you had to take a secret path just to access this originally.
Yeah. Which is good, because it saves a lot of...
Get that red gem.
Yep. Which is good because it saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, Alex, when I get to streaming the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, you could probably see, like, a lot of what CyberConnect wanted to do with the game's story and whatnot, or rather what they wanted to do with the series' story. I mean, and you know, Storm 1 did also have the issues with, like, lip syncing with the dub, but it's not nearly as noticeable due to the fact that we don't get a lot of pre-rendered cutscenes in Storm 1 as opposed to 2, 3, and 4. And, oh dear lord, or Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
That's not what I'm
Storm 4 basically doesn't even try with a lot of the story bits. It's in there.
There we go.
Storm 4 or basically takes the story basically takes the story and just like lazily uses still frames from the anime to just basically narrate like what's going on at this point in time in the story. Or for a lot of bits, but for some bits they will actually have pre-rendered animated cutscenes, especially the bits that the anime didn't get to. So basically Storm 4 ended up, I'm like going past the anime because they're like, you know what, we have enough material to work with, we're doing this.
That ungoofed.
But like I said, the issue is that the majority of the story is adapted in a way that it's like you might as well be watching the show. If you get what I mean.
Drawing the fuck out.
Are we looking?
Yep.
Tired of this cat and mouse.
I got your
Well, this trend kind of started with Storm 2.
Just be careful, Aiden. Do we bounce the signal around? I think
Due to the fact that Storm 2 had this whole thing where they wanted to do more story, but less of actually adventuring in exploring a well-detailed hub area, as like they did with the first game. Because the first game you could do so much in the Hidden Leaf Village that you could practically be zipping around all over the damn place. Storm 2, starting with Storm 2, they take that, but then they just like downgrade the running to just like going at a brisk pace. And you don't even get to like jump on you don't even get to go up walls, you don't get to jump around on buildings and whatnot. You don't get to do a lot of things that, you know, Naruto is known for. So you can imagine how disappointed I was starting with Storm 2 in terms of the exploration elements. Because, you know, I thought I was going to be able to do all that parkouring stuff that I could do in the first game, and throughout, like, the Hidden Sand Village and Rain Village and whatnot.
Nope.
But no, I didn't get to do that. So you kind of understand the point, right?
Yeah.
Like, as Naruto games, like, the games after Storm 1 kind of start to get like disappointing, but the one good thing about these games is at least the boss fights look hella great. Hey, they are just amazing to look at.
Okay, go back there, Crash. So you know what? There's one thing I still need to do. Sorry, I need the extra lives. Thank you.
The poor bear. He goes through so much.
What the hell, dude?
Hashtag bear lives matter.
Oh god, can we not?
I'm sorry.
All of a sudden you're gonna see the giant polar bear freaking come at you outside your door.
FBI, open up.
Yeah, it's gonna be that, but only it's gonna be the freaking polar bear.
I know.
And Alex.
You know I'm joking.
I know. Yeah, just
But
I feel like I could have gotten over there.
Hey, if Animalities come back in Mortal Kombat 11, then that would be interesting.
I feel like I could have gotten over this
book.
crap with a long ladder and a thick blanket, rather than having to hack into shit.
Is it extra thick?
God damn it, Aku.
Well, since me and Mom have been watching Avatar The Last Airbender recently, that's been on my mind as well. Well, since, you know, Aku and Iroh are voiced by both the same... are voiced by both of the same actors.
True.
Like, at first it was Mako Iwamatsu, then it's Greg Baldwin. You know, the sad thing is like, Mako's death was kind of what caused the series to go into hiatus. Avatar The Last Airbender to go into hiatus after Appa's Lost Days ended up airing. Because Mako did record quite a few of his lines after the Tales of Ba Sing Se, but it's like they kind of did the Tale of Iroh was kind of the most emotionally impactful part of that episode. Oh, mostly due to the whole end card being in dedication to Mako.
Yeah, god damn it. Chris Warner, of course, it. Box.
And
Age
my mom's
30, looks like she's about 50. Sounds about right.
My mom, who's gotten really into Avatar, was sad when I told her that after a while, after like the end of season 2, Iroh is gonna have a different voice actor.
And I gotta do this level again.
Yep. Well, you gotta come back here anyway because you can't get the box gem in this level.
I know, that's why.
A middle-aged woman charged with
I
bigamy.
can't get the box.
Well, not only that, but also the fact that there's a warp to this level.
Dude, I already did the secret thing.
No. As in, there's a warp on the third tier to this level.
Here.
I know. Still.
I understand. Don't worry, I get it.
Why else would the level hint at?
911, please state your emergency. There's
Yes.
shots fired. Can you hear me?
Use the phone.
I need you to stay on the line.
No, it's not.
Don't hurt me.
It's not too far away.
So, anyway, it's just like it's been a very interesting journey through rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender, or with my mom, and especially like during Tales of Ba Sing Se and then Appa's Lost Days. Hey, she was just like, how it this is very heavy for a kids show.
Ooh, I can show a gang hideout. Actually, I think I will, because we've already done a criminal convoy. But for a gang hideout... Oh, sorry.
So, Alex, have you ever heard of Mako Iwamatsu?
I don't remember.
He, besides Aku and Iroh, he's been in like movies like Pearl Harbor with Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
So, toss up. Do you want me to take the sport utility truck or this thing?
And he voiced
this thing.
and Mako had also before his death, had also provided the voice of Master Splinter in the 2007 CGI Ninja Turtles movie.
Yep. And, yeah, this thing, by the way, is a, some kind of big truck.
Big truck.
Yeah, it's a bigger truck. It's not going to be as fast as the SUT, but it'll be, it'll probably be tougher.
No,
I sometimes have to remind myself of, like, the bit in Batman and Under the Red Hood when after Joker slits the throat of that one guy who handed that one Black Mask guy who handed him a glass of water. He's like, "I'm going to need something to wear and a big truck." Sure. Anything else? I'll need some guys. Not these ones, because, you know, they're kind of dead.
Yeah, no shit. Ugh.
I actually kind of thought that scene was pretty neat. Though, of course, they did try to, they did end up unintentionally replicating that scene in Dark Knight Returns when Joker was on like a, like a talk show. Oh, and then he's like, "I do guess get to keep these mugs? Sure, we got plenty more in the closet." Smashes the mug and then slits the throat of his therapist. So as long as you don't miss him.
Alright, doing a correction canvas. I need that death row, damn it.
Let's see, code scan.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was actually going to the gang hideout, not instead of just, you know, going to a place where I can find out about the gang hideout. That's why
This
would
is
I
the line to the
possibly
Sassy
think
Coaster.
that?
No, this is the line to get into the line for the Sassy Coaster.
It'll give him something to think about.
Please tell me you guys have seen in that episode of Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I've never watched that show.
Oh.
How are you still alive?
Oh God.
Mama say, mama sa, mama kosa,
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
How did you get out of the way in time? You know, there's a maniac driving a big old truck here. You might want to get out of the way.
Wait, which maniac?
Are you
Me.
sure that maniac wasn't me?
Yep.
No, I'm sure that maniac
God,
was me.
damn it.
So,
Oh, this is the end. This is a hell of a thing. Oh, I remember this one. This mission was fuck on Wii U. This mission was a shitload of fuck.
a shitload of fuck.
If you can imagine all of the bad guys having X-ray vision for no fucking reason. I was on the bottom floor, and these fuckers saw through the cement.
Okay, so I gotta tell you something funny. So, there was a funny fan image of Darkseid with the Omega Beams, but instead of him and with the Omega Beams, shooting the Omega Beams, it's his eyes covered by Omnimont on sword and cannon, and the joke is mostly on the Japanese version of Omnimon's name, which is Omegamon. So essentially, it's like Darkseid's Omega beams, and suddenly instead of him actually shooting the beams, it's
He's just shooting Omnimon.
Now Omnimon's arm, both of Omnimon's arms just jutted right out of his eyes as the Omega beam comes out.
Okay.
So tell me. You remember me talking about Deceased, right?
Yeah.
First of all, DC Comics real subtle there.
Yes, I know. I know bonus level, but remember, does count. The death platform is still there.
True. Yeah, that's true. In case you're, and it's like they have this whole it's like DC and then East, and I'm like, oh god, that is such a horrible wordplay. And then, so the comic starts out with the Justice League beating the pants off of Darkseid, right? And Wonder Woman using the lasso of truth to compel Darkseid to leave Earth and never come back. And Darkseid's like, nah, fam, I don't need to come back here. I already got what I want. And they're like, okay, and then Ollie's like, okay, the villain was and was being way too cooperative.
Why did they give the radio to the drone? It's almost like you need to get somebody reliable to call for backup.
And so Batman then notes that Victor is missing, and he informs the league, that Victor was, well, you know, that he had a tracker placed on Victor.
I thought that guy would be close enough. Never mind.
So he was just like, it's like, oh, I had a tracker placed on Victor, and then Flash is like, what? You got a tracker placed on Superman? And Batman's like with a bit of a pause, he's like, no. And Ollie's like, no one's worried about that pause. So then Cyborg is strapped to a table, all that he's pinned to by some steak, eggs shoved into his limbs by Desaad, and Desaad's like, oh, you'll serve us so wonderfully, and whatnot. And then Darkseid's like, oh, the anti-life equation's inside you, and Cyborg's like, were you really just waiting there, or wanting to make a dramatic entrance? Yeah, Cyborg actually lampshades that of Darkseid's an entrance, and then Darkseid tries to get and then Darkseid tries to get like the anti-life through Vic, but if Vic dies, then there goes too quickly, then there goes the anti-life. So he has Black Rider come in, and he's like, I have use for you. Ooh, and then Black Rider does something to the anti-life, which causes it to have an unfortunate side effect, and I just killed an eater in one shot.
Oh, wow. What did you do, penetrate its defenses?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll do it.
Anyway, so then, and once the
Target is attempting to escape. I don't think so. Okay,
so then,
now I'm gonna do something fucking epic here, guys.
What? You're gonna do a sweet a double axle flip.
Wait, before or after you mess it up?
So then Desaad notices that Darkseid is clawing at his face. And then he boom tubes Cyborg out of there, being somehow immune to the whole anti-life thing. And turns out what Black Rider did was make the anti-life equation into something that turns people into zombies. So
Geronimo!
On our way in.
Somehow I survived that!
Funny enough,
I drove off the rooftop, guys!
Funny enough, when Darkseid basically ends up falling into the core of Apocalypse, and he basically blows up Apocalypse and killing himself. So Darkseid and the remnants of that planet are dead. But then, so Cyborg ends up on Earth, and then he realizes that the anti-life equation inside of him is connected to the internet, and, well, anybody with a smartphone or a computer screen looks at it, and then suddenly they're like, oh, we're zombies.
That is so fucking dumb.
And now we're in the Death Row path.
And I'm like, wow, DC, hey, this is your attempt at biting social commentary?
Okay, Boomer.
Indeed. Hey, this comic was written by a bunch of boomers. So then, and a lot of people already get infected because they all had their smartphones out, and Cyborg's like, don't have your smartphones out, but he can't really communicate with them because Darkseid had Desaad cut out Cyborg's tongue for being a bit of a smartass.
Because a Cyborg could totally not just grow a new one with those nanites in his body.
He does grow. He does eventually grow back a new one. It just took quite a bit of time. So then Superman's like hanging out with Varda and Mr. Miracle, being like, "Hey, you guys want to help us search for Cyborg on Apocalypse?" But then Superman hears a bunch of screaming, and suddenly he notices that the city is surrounded by zombies. So then he worries about how Lois is John, Ken, and Damian, and who were hanging out at Clark and Lois's apartment at the time. And Superman dashes over to the apartment and smashes up Lois' smartphone and destroys the TV screen. And meanwhile, Bruce has firewalls set up on his end so he could actually end up looking at his screen and security cameras and whatnot. And he's like, I guess in the computer, have you disabled all the Wi-Fi in the house? And the computer's like, no. And then Batman's like, damn it. So he goes up to the kitchen, finds Alfred with a knife, and notices that Dick Grayson and Tim Drake have been turned into zombies.
So they failed their will saves.
That, and, well, they looked at the smartphone, and then the anti-life got into their heads. I'm not sure if I would really consider that a will save if it's like infection and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe.
So then they gang up on Bruce, and luckily he and Alfred managed to end up killing them, but then Bruce has to put on like a Mr. Freeze suit to slow down his infection, and he tries to give a warning to each of the superheroes, being like, hey, don't, and especially to like the speedsters like Wally West and Flat, and she's like, hey guys, don't go out because if you get infected, we're all screwed. So Flash and so Barry and Wally just kind of take the advice and stay in their place. and takes a. Meanwhile, Ollie, Hal, and Ollie, Hal, and Dinah are camping, and Hal is like, "How can you guys stand camping and whatnot?" Then as they're like then as Ollie and Dinah are talking, Hal has his smartphone out, and then he ends up being turned into a zombie.
Okay, that was a goof up on my part.
Well, so much for In Brightest Day and Blackest Night, etc.
Yep. And Dinah ends up killing Hal, and she ends up taking his place as the Green Lantern. And so, giving Black Canary the Green Lantern ring, how OP would she end up being? Or would she not really do all that well in the long run?
Yeah, remember the power of the Green Lantern ring. It's not going to bring all kinds of power.
And meanwhile, Kyle Rayner, the most overpowered Green Lantern, is still not present. And in this comic, neither is John Stewart. Guy Gardner appears near the end of the main in-comic storyline.
The reason why you already said it right there. Okay.
Well, and also, where are the Titans during all this? They're not even in this comic.
You tried just trying to have the most overpowered character in the story. Pretty much gonna break the story in two.
Nice.
No sentiment, drama, tension.
I suppose.
It's just like a pretty Dragon Ball Super storyline.
Oh, that's a low bar.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay,
I said low bar, not low blow.
I know. It's like, okay, why do you have this trouble? You can press a button, boom, that'll take care of it.
Yeah, like,
seriously. Unless that button bang. Then.
I hate Yukishibe. He's so much. Yukishibe. Like, seriously, she is the worst.
Yeah, no, she's pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, she's freaking freaky, and somehow Crash is able to break it. Crash card.
So, Alex, your thoughts on Dinah becoming the Green Lantern?
Could be better, could be worse. I made an incredibly bad decision.
Don't we all make incredibly bad decisions at some point in our lives?
Yeah, but I went from second place to last.
What, did you get hit by a blue shell?
Wait,
I drove into the lake because I apparently didn't realize that the ramp didn't lead anywhere.
Anyway, so meanwhile, Aquaman encounters a group of people on a storage ship that ended up turning into zombies because there was a broken smartphone on that ship. And Aquaman opens the door, sees the zombies, and doesn't think to close the damn door.
Best drivers out there, but not the best time.
And he gets infected. Because viewing the thing on the smartphone isn't the only way to get infected in this storyline. You could also get infected by getting scratched or bitten.
Yeah,
like typical zombies.
That's just overpowered.
What?
Being able to be scratched or bitten.
Dude, that's always how you get people getting infected.
Yes, but they also...
Hey, The Last of Us cordyceps virus can do that.
The fucking mushroom virus just freaking continues to...
The thing is, the first Last of Us game was still better written than what I'm describing right now.
Yeah, I know, better than some comic book storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Ow, I have no idea.
Well, modern day
God, it's a
DC,
motorcycle
that's not
race.
hard, but how well written was in Blackest Night?
I didn't like Blackest Night that much.
Fair. So anyway, it's like Batman gives like a last heartfelt message to everybody and whatnot, as well as making sure everybody's cautious. And Alfred has a shotgun in hand, and knowing that Bruce is eventually going to succumb to the infection. And when Bruce does, Alfred shoots him. Oh,
That's like the inverse of Batman Vampire.
Really?
Which was really fucking good up until the last issue. The last issue was garbage.
I might actually consider going to read that at some point, since I have DC Universe, or since I can read comics as well as watch some of the shows and movies.
Yeah, I never did use that except for a couple episodes of that Doom Patrol series.
Which I actually would say is a little better than most of the other DC live-action stuff. Yeah, the show about Beast Boy's original team, the Doom Patrol. Oh, how about that?
I hate this fucking motorcycle bullshit.
Most of us don't really like the motorcycle in Crash 3 or and whatnot.
We'll get to it.
Yes, we will.
That's probably the one that's gonna be.
Fuck's sake.
It's gonna take a while.
At the very least, the secrets I'll know for sure in that game.
I know, but still, the bike levels are gonna be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing with that. So anyway, so then Alfred leaves the Batcave with the Batwing, dropping bombs on Gotham citizens that have been turned into zombies. Which, by the way, meanwhile, Harley Quinn was getting some pep talk from Ivy about how going to finally break up with the Joker. Or she goes in to do it, but then Joker turns out to be a zombie because he was looking at some screens. Are we sure that Joker's infected? Because it could just be an average Tuesday.
Kurt would also be the worst thing getting an infection for the Joker. It was Tuesday.
And Harley shotguns him in the stomach.
Like I said before, it was Tuesday.
I can't.
You don't.
I can't even exit my fucking bike. I am stuck.
How stuck are you?
Take a look at my stream. I'm stuck between a literal rock and a hard place.
I can see it right now. Holy crap!
Wait. It's an actual rock and a hard place, or
yes.
Wait, let me finish.
Yes, it's a literal rock and a hard place.
Okay, wait. Is it a bar called a hard place now?
No.
Damn it! There goes the Simpsons reference.
Yeah, it's a reference to the Simpsons movie. Alex.
Oh my god. Okay. Now I'm out.
Paradise Lost plan.
I have lost the game.
You just lost the game, son.
But I'm at least going to finish the race this time.
Okay, speaking of which, thoughts on Kanye West unironically running for president? Go.
Well, he's got my vote.
This is 2000. Wait, hold up. Here's my thought. I'll tell you my thought in a nutshell. Welcome to 2020. Enjoy the ride to hell. And now to the first.
Neither opinion is really wrong.
And now to the first sewer level in this game, which is probably the only one I even knew how to get the secret jump. Oh shit.
Okay, so
I didn't get a box jump when I was a kid. I mean, the box jump for this level is not that hard to get.
Okay, so tell me. So then Harley, after killing the Joker or zombie, ends up being confronted by the zombie birds of prey. And yes, there's a zombified Catwoman and Batwoman and Batgirl and Huntress.
Oh, wow.
She's like, zombies, birds of prey? Okay. Hey, I'm going and bird hunting. So she tries to go after them, but then she runs out of ammo, and Ivy comes in to save the day. So she and Harley just kind of isolate themselves from the rest of, like, Gotham and whatnot. Meanwhile, in Atlantis, Mira is teaching is helping Garth with his, like, water bending technique.
Okay,
when
right
all
here
of a
looks like okay, a crap ton of nitro box and looks
Yep.
like nothing there, right? Whoop. Secret spot.
And so then, so then Aquaman comes in with, like, a bunch of infected people. Atlantis gets infected with the exception of Mira.
But optional.
And I'm like, oh great, Amber Heard is left alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. It could be worse. It could be old Aquaman. You know,
Oh,
the one
true.
that moved the belt.
Oh, true. Very true. So Mira escapes Themyscira to seek refuge with Hippolyta.
Hippolyta.
Is it pronounced Hippolyta or
Yeah,
Hippolyta?
Hippolyta. That's how I've heard it.
What do you think, Alex?
I think it's Hippolyta. If I recall correctly, that's how they've always pronounced it.
Hippolyta. I've never heard it pronounced like that.
We may have to look this up at some point. One of us is going to have to Google this. Anyway, so...
Like I said, Hippolyta.
Alright.
Not like I'm pronouncing it Hippolyta.
True. Oh, I'm just kind of go... When I mention her, I'm just going to kind of go with my pronunciation... With the pronunciation I'm using. Zing... Instance kind of and to me it kind of feels a little more natural in some way. But then again, I could always be wrong. Anyway, so meanwhile, Lois Lane is broadcasting a message to anybody listening on a radio. Oh, while this whole shindig is going down. And Superman had plugged up the Daily Planet so that an entrance so that nobody infected could get in. And so Superman, and being the embodiment of chronic hero syndrome that he is, saves Black Lightning and his family and helps them get to the Daily Planet. And then is also followed by Ollie and Dinah. But then before they could move on any further, or they end up having a run-in with a zombified Giganta.
Oh, wow.
So, which she also ends up almost causing the Batwing to crash almost, and they basically end up having to. And so at first Superman is trying to, and so Diana comes in and about to kill all the infected Giganta, but then Superman's like, wait, there could be a cure or something. Cyborg then just blows her head, blows a hole in her head from the side, and he's like, yeah, there's no cure. So then they try to get, and Superman ends up going to the Kent and family farm at one point, and he ends up having to kill Pa Kent, or Jonathan Kent, due to the fact that he got infected. Jonathan Kent, I can't really picture with a smartphone.
No.
Neither could I picture Hal Jordan. Kyle Rayner, maybe I can picture with a smartphone because he
Kyle
looks young
Rayner,
enough.
definitely. He's the he was a comic book artist. Of course,
Yeah.
he'd have the technology and stuff.
Hal Jordan's a military pilot.
Yeah. I'm just losing these races because I'm not actually doing any serious racing, but I also kind of suck with these cars.
If you see me play Mario Kart, I am absolutely ruthless towards my friends. Fran can attest to that.
Yes, I still hope you get a freaking blue shell up your ass.
Hey, I always expect blue shells, Fran.
It's been a long time since I've
What the hell's
done
wrong with
anything
you?
like this.
So basically,
Yes, I know I need to do some backtracking, I know.
so basically, it's like every time. So Damien is given in the case a case is that Alfred had got from Bruce and basically it contains a bat suit with a bunch of gadget. It's including stuff to stop the Justice League. There is some off-screen bits where Damien is kind of like really uncertain about putting on the bat suit, since he feels he doesn't really deserve it. But Superman in one part of this comic series does talk Damien into doing it, and with a whole "you're better than you think you are" bit, and then he finally puts on the suit. It's like Damien's batsuit does kind of look neat, but I wish it were presented in a better scenario. Like in a better written scenario. Because no offense to Tom Taylor, who does write the Ginger version of Wally West pretty well in this scenario, but... dude is like... How do I describe this? Oh, by the way, Fran, if you get 3D Akuaku masked with Coco, and climb on the monkey bars, you see how fast she goes.
What, she goes? How fast?
She's like...
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's a hilarious sight.
Those, the costume.
So basically, it's like... So then, and Superman gets a lot of people on the Flash, ashes together the Fortress of Solitude to basically plan, like, destroying the internet and whatnot.
Yes, because that's possible.
Like I said, that was the evil deal. No Vanderhorst will not pop up.
Oh, for the love of fucking God.
I know, it's been so funny, you guys may get that joke.
I certainly am not going to get that
That
joke.
was his nickname when he was boxing, the real deal.
Yep. So, anyway. Damien in a bat suit, along with Dinah and Ollie, go to visit Poison Ivy. I would basically tell her, hey, why don't you take some people who aren't infected in, because we kind of need your help since your place is clearly isolated.
And now this is one the Komodo brothers.
And so, essentially, Ivy's so Harley tells Ivy, hey, why don't you do it? And she's like, all right. However, when they get back to the Fortress of Solitude, and Lex Luthor is also there because he and Superman just decided let's do like an alliance thing, shindig. Oh, and Captain Atom blew up. Blew up Washington D.C. and whatnot because he ended up I'm getting attacked by Ray Palmer, who somehow got infected while searching in the inside. I have an infected person's bloodstream.
And there we go. That's it for the Komodo brothers. Reasonable.
Okay.
How did Ray Palmer get infected when when you know this is Ray Palmer we're talking about? The Atom?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And also, did he not figure to wear a suit that prevents infection?
Well, that'll probably never occur to him. Okay, we are third sim.
Now we're nearly halfway done with the story of this game.
Yeah, you're doing that. I'm gonna call that rep on my screen. I don't want to go through most of the game. Just draw it out.
Fair enough. That's where you want to end it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like we're practically halfway. Kind of.
Right, and like I said, I could still, if you still need help with getting like getting.
Right, I think I'm loaded on that. Damn it. Yeah, whatever. And then the stream now. Now do it all.
Okay.
Good job. Yeah, good job.
Yep. Almost as badly as I did when I tried starting on Resident Evil 4, or Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, at least I got the wait. Oh wait, I got the auto save. So. Auto save. Thank God, I made sure to move the auto save.
Indeed. So.
Go up. Make sure I don't do it again this time. Saving. Here we go. Now it's
Okay, so then Martian Manhunter infected tears through Lex Luthor, and he ends up killing, and he scratches the Flash, and Firestorm ends up killing him. And however, then Wally's like Superman, where's Barry? And Barry is running, about to go infect some more people. And
Run, Barry, run!
And then they had this idea, and earlier they had this idea of like getting a bunch of people together and going on like arcs and whatnot to a new world.
a whole new world.
Which would probably be which this plan is at least better executed than in Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. Oh dear lord, I don't want to bitch about that anime trilogy again.
I thought you were about to.
I'm not, because I'm not gonna do it now because that's getting a bit off topic. So Superman. So then they're like, how are you planning on catching the fastest man alive? And Superman's like, no, I don't have to catch him. I just need to meet up with him. So he flies around out in the world. He flies out just outside of the Earth's surface. Is plows right into Barry, just making him explode, and somehow bone shrapnel ends up hitting Superman's midsection. and causing the Man of Steel to probably. I thought that was BS too, because I'm like, did Tom Taylor forget that Kryptonians are not that not that fragile?
Yeah, it's like
phone shrapnel. Superman's like, I guess I'll just die. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
right.
There was a YouTube comment on that one. So Superman tries to say goodbye to everybody, go into space and try and suffocate himself, but then he succumbs to the infection, heads to Earth, and basically destroys most of New York City. And so Superman be like, everybody's just like, oh man, now we really have to get on those arcs. And Damian pulls out a bit of kryptonite on his utility belt, and Ollie's like, does Batman have any plans for me? And Damian's like, no. Oh, and Ollie's a little hurt that he's not considered a planet-destroying threat.
Yes, because Robin Hood is totally on the same level as literal Superman.
I actually thought that was a little funny. And so Ollie ends up fighting again. And so Wonder Woman's like, no. It's like, this is good, but we can do better. Because Batman's plans have always just involved like subduing the League. We need something that could actually kill him. So Diana,
kryptonite.
Diana goes to the forge with the kryptonite, and combines it with her magic sword, thus combining kryptonite and magic. Two things that would definitely kill Superman.
Okay, I can understand that.
However, it's like as the arcs are about to leave, one from Gotham City, one from Themyscira. You know, since they talked Hippolyta into being like, hey, why don't we actually help Man? And I'll let them take refuge here for a while. So Mera and Hippolyta end up fighting against Aquaman and the infected Atlanteans, and Ollie shoots an arrow through Aquaman's head, and he's like that'll show him I'm a planetary threat. And I'm like,
damn.
Taking out Aquaman. Taking out Aquaman. Did you just clip through that car?
Yes, I did.
How?
I don't know, but I'd like to know why my superpowers didn't extend to the van.
And I'm genuinely surprised that you aren't questioning Oliver Queen in killing Aquaman.
Ah!
Dude, someone that infected mine, he probably would have thought we could use whales.
And Aquaman summoned a goddamn Kraken.
Yeah.
Like a literal Kraken.
Was it a special arrow?
No.
Did somebody like shoot him 1,000 times in the eye first?
No.
No. Basically,
he shows up with a Kraken about to threaten Themyscira, and Ollie shoots him through the head once, and he dies.
Okay.
Like a regular headshot. Basically.
Yep.
Boom. Headshot.
And that's from a bow and arrow. Think about that.
Yes. From a bow and arrow that takes over 100 pounds of a pull force to literally use. And Ollie could probably machine gun with that.
If he wanted to, he probably could.
Oh, and by the way, the first arrow Ollie uses in this comic is the boxing glove arrow.
Nice.
Just, have you ever wanted to punch someone in the face, but they're all the way over there? Just the concept of the boxing glove arrow itself is hilarious. Hey, it works. Anyway, so then, like, Hippolyta tries to give Cassie her tiara because she's not going anywhere, or while the Arcs are leaving. And she gives it to her to declare Diana as the new rule of Themyscira. But meanwhile, Diana is fighting against Supes, and she doesn't think, she makes the same mistake that Thor did in Infinity War.
She didn't go for the head?
She didn't go for the head, she went for the arms. She got bit, and then she's like, I Cal saw all the Arcs, and then... And Cyborg decides to stay with Diana, being like, hey, I wasn't going to go anywhere. I wasn't going to be able to leave anyway. So, Jonathan gets into a big scuffle with Superman that results in him getting his arm broken. And Dinah continues a bit of the fight, and then the Green Lantern Corps finally shows up.
Because it's not like this is their responsibility or anything. It's kind of... Cosmic threats, that's kind of their thing.
You know what my reaction was when I saw that bit in Comic Storian's video? I was like, where the fuck were you guys earlier? And Superman ends up literally absorbing the energy in the sun, and thus makes it pretty much implode into him, and thus causing pretty much everything that in the solar system to go cold.
That wouldn't happen. That literally would not happen that fast. It couldn't. It literally couldn't.
Yeah, well, DC seems to disagree with actual science. And then there's that one time where they still got that submarine wrong.
That was so stupid, too, because you could have found that on Google.
Yes, you could have easily Google searched it in 2012, 2013 when they were writing this.
Oh, for the love of God!
Now what?
There are mines going off everywhere in this race.
Yeah.
Like, this entire universe
and normally, it wouldn't have bothered. It wouldn't have bothered me. But...
this universe is... this version of Watch Dogs is
I don't want to live on this planet anymore!
Cowabunga!
What am I fighting for?
I'm barely paying attention to this stream, to my stream, and Alex, and just...
Well, good. It's nothing but dialogue.
Yes. Anyway, so... then,
Yep, just got creepy, Mom.
So then it's just like...
So
back on Earth, Cyborg is restraining an infected Wonder Woman, and with the lasso of truth, being asking questions like, "Hey, can you speak?" And it's like, "Yes, we have a voice." And then Cyborg's like, "Is there a cure for this?" And she's like, "Yes." And then he's like, "Where is it?" And she's like, "It's in you."
It's in your ass. I should have said this.
Yes. Yes. So then, so Cyborg's shocked about this, is about to go tell the Arcs, but then Diana basically rips his head off, and then what she does next is basically shown in the side story Deceased Unkillables, where it's basically Red Hood and Deathstroke going ham on zombies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and a bunch of other villains, too. So then they arrive to Earth 2, and I'm to their Earth 2, and I'm just like, oh god, they've arrived in the Injustice Earth. No! That being my attempt at like a jokey joke.
Yeah.
And every time I feel like I'm making a jokey joke when writing to Alex about the attempt at doing Injustice League Dark Apocalypse, where I'm like, I'm not sure if this jokey joke would go over well, because it's an R-rated movie. Well, a series of R-rated movies in this case. How do the jokey jokes look in the story, Alex?
It's pretty good. You manage to do things a hell of a lot better than some people do.
Really?
Yeah.
Sentenced to community service via whacking them in the face.
The hell?
I wish there was a better way to explain what is going on, but I just can't. Anyway. Oh my god, Black War Greymon and Black Metal Garurumon.
Mm-hmm. And 2 Digimon need for Omnimon 4.
Yep. And they're both virus types. How convenient.
Yep.
Oh, screw you, game.
What happened now?
I can't damage them. This is purely scripted, so...
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, hell with it. I'm just doing auto.
Yeah, thank you, Lucamon FM. And it won't be such a chore for you to Digivolve, since I don't have to do anything to your stats.
So was there any jokes that you thought were... what joke did you think I actually nailed in this, Alex?
I can't remember any off the top of my head. I'm looking at this right now, trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna get into this place, and yes, I am yawning because it is kind of a boring task.
I was kind of surprised that you thought at the joke where Beast Boy was like, well, I'm gonna miss our room. That was kind of funny. And with all their strength, they digivolve into megaforms.
Huh? Yeah, what am I Digivolve?
Hey, at least as long as they don't digivolve into Megaforce.
They're not gonna do that. This isn't in like friggin' in Power Rangers. This isn't like Power Rangers. This isn't Digimon Frontier.
Dude, we don't have like a shitload of Digimon to tap on the screen at once. That's not gonna happen.
You know, Digimon Frontier was basically he's supposed to be like Power Digimon, but with Digimon Power Rangers style. Oh, but I'm just like, it's not very good. Probably better than some of the worst Power Rangers series out there, but
such as everything after RPM.
I don't see anything. Gonna move on.
You know, there was once a time where
I got nothing. I'll check over there.
And it's like, I see.
Moving on. Watch it. This area's clear.
And it's like, so basically, a Frontier's whole premise was like, remember those Biomerge evolutions in Tamers? Well, that's basically gonna be our whole shtick. Which, by the way, Digimon Tamers is basically if Digimon and Ava, if Digimon was suddenly Evangelion.
Yeah, more or less.
And considering, yes, and even if I've seen only the rebuild, even if I've only fully seen the rebuild films, I can come to that conclusion.
So much grinding.
What do you think I'm gonna end up doing near the end of this game?
No, that's what I'm doing right now.
So it's like of course the fan servicey Digimon has to be have to use an 11-year-old girl as its vessel, and yes, the transformation sequences include panty shots.
And shoot.
Yeah, looky, check my cookies.
To which I was just like, yeah, no. You had me for a while there, but then you kind of lost me with that thing. It's not that I'm against panty shots, because High School of the Dead is the thing. Have you seen Matrix boobs, Fran?
I'm aware of it.
How much of this data is
You need to see
That's like
it.
the first thing everyone brings up when it comes to High School of the Dead.
doing with this?
Fran, you need to see Matrix boobs.
So CCOS stored a video of a guy standing in front of a window swinging his dick around.
Oh my god, that's actually fucking funny.
Yes, that was hilarious.
That's funny as hell.
What about...
And now this guy is making out with a security camera.
I'm gonna kiss you.
Oh wow. Now he must be drunk. Either drunk or on drugs. I'm pretty much grinding for multiple reasons. One, I want to freaking fail Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. Two, I want to finish Lucimon's Digivolution line. And three, Armageddon. Four, I just feel like trying to get Chaos Mon. And yes, for shits and giggles. Because why not?
Okay, in case you're wondering what I just did there, I was basically cheating with,
What, the best mate?
with
Yeah, to me that actually works. Not that cheaper one that barely freaking works. That's why I don't bother buying that.
Miracle Meat.
Yeah, that's why I don't bother buying it, because it's like, nah, it freaking, dude, that's like freaking, that's like relying on winning a duel with Time Wizard.
You keep your eye on the money.
Yeah, but the thing is like
That is an old meme. Good God. Wolfman has nards. That was an old meme even in 2014 when this game was new.
Just follow the ball and win
Wolfman's
some
got
cash.
knobs.
Hey, I'll be honest with you.
What is that a reference to?
It's a movie line.
From what?
I forget. It may be Monster Squad, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, Nostalgia Critic actually reviewed Monster Squad.
I think that's probably the only place I've ever heard of or seen that line from.
Yeah, Monster Squad.
Move.
Hello there, good sir. I came to talk to you because the plot told me to.
Oh, hello.
Told me to too. You're fucking lazy. Get a fucking job, asshole.
Yep. And then I gotta go get a case from Kyoko.
Mm-hmm.
I'm commandeering your ambulance. Thanks.
Wait, sir, we have coronavirus patients.
It's
I gotta
2014.
care,
We don't know what that is.
It's 2014. We have no idea how that is. Besides, the Cubs still have to win the World Series.
Okay,
we may not be off on that by a year.
Fancy word for hitman. This crew's already.
Okay, so now I gotta go to the Zaxxon forum. I'm gonna go talk to Yugo.
Please tell me I could just kill all these fuckers. I don't want to have to.
You have to sentence
eliminate.
them to community service.
Yes, I can eliminate these guys.
No, sentence them to community service by punching them.
Then all of a sudden the army's on your ass.
A 52-year-old pickpocket with the voice of a 13-year-old boy. Seems legit.
What the hell?
What? What even is this game?
Watch Dogs.
You've
seen me play it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
When was this?
Years ago. I do remember bringing it over.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn you were the sandbox game you were playing was Grand Theft Auto.
No, that you remember because we actually went through that game.
Oh, dear Lord. I was just like, can this game stand already? Punch him! Punch him! Come on! Yeah, at the very least, this is a better commentary on actual, cybernetics and whatnot than, say, David Cage's attempt at race wars.
David Cage.
Yep.
I still haven't touched that game. What if we can get to that?
I have seen that game. Let me just say,
Does it look better than Heavy Rain? Let's put it that way.
Visually, yes.
911.
The only game of his that I have
Voice acting wise, the only decent ones are Clancy Brown and the guy he's often talking to, just due to the fact that they improv most of their material.
I love the idea of David Cage's games a hell of a lot more than I actually like the games. And I kind of like the games as a concept, but it's like I said, as a concept, not an execution so much.
But then there was some deep trouble that David Cage got into with Ellen Page.
Yeah, that whole thing.
David Cage and Ellen Page.
Why are you talking like Captain Boomerang / John Constantine?
Dude, he sounds like you're friggin' Captain Boomerang, who somehow is secretly a brony.
Captain Boomerang. That was a weird Suicide Squad, and that whole
I know, it's like,
setup.
what the fuck?
That whole setup was like
What
an
the hell?
edit. Was part of that movie's editing nightmare. Because it's like we have this whole setup of him having an obsession with pink unicorns, but then we don't even get to see the unicorn do anything meaningful.
My little brony. My little brony.
And it's
Well,
like...
then again, what are you expecting to do? Just freaking toss it around like a boomerang?
No. What I was
would
more
be funny
referring to is like there was a bit where it's like he takes a knife wound, but then he ends up okay, and you think, oh, the unicorns was going to pop out of his coat pocket, but then it turns out it's just a stack of money. And the unicorn never gets brought up ever again.
Oh, it's a stack of money that gets stabbed, not the unicorn.
So Alex, since
that's actually not a bad fake out.
Yeah, but that would have been a bit more of a satisfying payoff. Because like, why draw attention to it only to just go with?
Probably just done just to be a minor detail. That's all. Not everything has to have a freaking detail. Dude.
Well, I'm thinking it's more going along the lines of that friggin' subverting expectations stuff that Ryan Johnson's such a big fan of.
That's not really subverting expectation.
Now, I realized a couple days ago the thing where the hero completely betrays their ideals and everything that they've ever stood for throughout their entire life and on-screen career. That's not a new thing. That happened in Mission Impossible. That happened in the first Mission Impossible movie with Jim Phelps. Jim Phelps just flat out betrayed everything that he'd stood for 40-something years at that point. Well, no, it was 30-plus years. Because it was only in the 60s when the Mission Impossible was a TV show. But, yeah, that... At least Luke wasn't evil in The Last Jedi. He was just a fucking dumbass.
Yes. Dumbass drinking from that sweet, sweet teat.
Yeah, Yoda's.
Not Yoda's.
Yoda did the same thing.
Yes. I did the Highlander thing where I just stuffed the gun down the front of my shirt. Technically, I have a trench coat on, but it's not closed in such a way that it would actually conceal any weapons that I would put down the front of it.
Yeah, but whatever. The weapon one's at hammer space.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
So now we're going to kung fu fight against this guy. Oh God.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats was fast as lightning. Spectre was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
Is it weird that I could actually memorize the exact beat of that song?
Nope.
Yes, go after my ally who is clearly invincible to all of your BS.
Dude,
that makes total
the AI
sense.
does not only recognize the enemy as an enemy. It doesn't recognize if it's a party. If it's your party or if it's the freaking guest that you want.
So have y'all
glad they're
secured?
hitting them and not you.
Have y'all secured your NES and SNES classics from Nintendo? Because they have, because they've got ones up on their website, refurbished, but you know.
I may have to go for the SNES Classic, since I'd want to play some Danky Kang and whatnot.
Yeah, I went ahead and got both of them.
Alright, can you send us a link? Can you send me a link to it?
Yeah, when I get done here, I'll remind me when we get done, and I will.
Sure.
2 hours later.
Yes, because we're going to be at this for a while, since this, like I said, this is a long RPG. 20 chapters long.
Yeah, so I'm like about 3/4 of the way through it. So by then,
Well, like I said, like we've established, you're playing the complete version, and whereas I'm playing the vanilla version.
yeah.
911, please state the nature of your emergency.
Yeah, there's a guy with a gun. Yeah,
So-
he's shooting all right.
Hello, are you still there? Hello?
Oh, this isn't right.
So, Alex, what do you think of the animation of Studio Pierrot's version of Naruto?
Animation's pretty good. Okay, come on. Get in the building. Get in the building, Aiden. Get in the building, Aiden.
Let me just say...
Can I climb this fucking... Why did you render all this shit if I can't... Oh, there's a camera up here. There we go.
Let me just say that,
I don't dislike the animation.
Let me just say that some of the animation, unlike with My Hero Academia, with a lot of its in between frames and whatnot, a lot of Studio Pierrot's animation and for Naruto is like they're really riding off the high horse of Yu Yu Hakusho. When they used to make squash and stretchiness as look appealing. Like, they really wanted to go back to those days.
He's got a gun.
And I'm like, well, you know... Oh, those looked neat because it felt like a genuine drug trip.
Oh, hello!
What is your emergency?
Hello? Yeah. Someone's shooting. I can't tell.
Now
I don't know.
what?
Please help.
And, you know, the weird thing is, Studio Pierrot's version of Yu Yu Hakusho is more popular than the actual manga it's based off of. Like, no joke.
All units, DQS scan completed. Suspect location is being distributed now.
Oh, if you go to read the manga of Yu Yu Hakusho...
There we go.
Let's just say it's going to be a little weird compared to the anime. Because in the manga, for whatever reason, they gave Yusuke the whole, like, 90s protagonist has to be a smoker.
Who exactly keeps unstable chemicals in the glove box of their sports car?
Bumblebee? You're riding a Camaro.
This isn't a Camaro, this is a fucking Ferrari.
Okay. I'm not an expert with cars. My dad and my grandfather are.
I'm not either, but I can tell a Ferrari from a friggin' Camaro, dude. Oh my god, the handling in this thing is such garbage.
Transform, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee,
You know-
we need you to transform so that you'll suck less.
But then they're like, guys, I'm not here. Guys, I'm not over there. I'm literally on the opposite side of town. Then who's the yellow and red and who's the yellow and black car?
Yellow and black car over there?
That's just a generic Ferrari, dude. Then he's like, why did we assume that it was you? God. What notification did you get, Alex?
Trophy. Hard crash.
You do know that you can turn those off. I found out how that you can.
I don't really care.
It gets a little intrusive on the stream. Oh God. Do we have to pick Nokia for these things? I don't want to.
Give me your car, give me your car, give me your car, I'm taking your car, I'm taking your car, I'm taking your car!
You're gonna jack a cop's car?
While he was standing right next to me!
What the hell? What is this game?
Okay, well, what happened? Well, the suspect got his car stuck in a crevice. So he got out and ran away, and then he got onto the bridge, and then Officer Briggs over here apparently decided it was a good idea to get out of his vehicle, and he did so right next to the vigilante, and the vigilante just hopped in his car.
Oh God. So basically, it's like at this point, and a lot of time is just for the Justice League Dark arc thing is mostly going to be spent on Damian and the Outside. Damian and then Tim in the Outsider, since the Justice League stuff isn't really going to be that much of a focus for a bit. So it's like Damian spends his couple months with the monks. Meanwhile, Tim ends up exiting.
Ah, yes, me arriving in a police car. That won't tip off the criminals whatsoever.
I'm trying to tell a story, man. This is too funny.
Says every GTA player ever.
Yes, I parked a police car next to the potential victim. That's not gonna hurt the fucking criminal who's sneaking up on him.
God dang it, man.
Hey, eyes forward, Ed.
Yeah, no, we're breaking concentration. We're doing that on purpose.
Oh my God.
The guy tried to assault the victim while he was standing in front of a cop's car.
AI being dumb. Don't choke. Don't choke.
Sorry. This was too funny. So anyway, so it's like Tim and the Outsiders leave Wayne Manor, or after a while getting the Wayne tech needed, a bit of the Wayne tech needed for the orbital defense, and then they're going to head over to Wayne Enterprises. But as they're leaving, Alfred notices that there's a boom tube popped up and a bunch of parademons and storm Wayne Manor, and they're all inside, and then Alfred's like, hello there, my name is Alfred Pennyworth. I am the residential butler to the Wayne family. I clean the house, I do the dishes, and I kill self-entitled twats like yourself. He holds up a trigger and the parademon's like, oh shit. And then, kaboom! Alfred and the parademons die in a fire of glory and explosions. And I wanted Alfred to go out on a high note at the very least. So, yeah. Meanwhile, as Damien is leaving the monks, he then ends up getting confronted. One of them, who has a teleportation power, takes him back to the boat that he rode in on, and he's like, okay, Damien, where are you going to be going now? He shows him a location on the map of various locations that Bruce has been to. It would basically be like to basically get some insight as to what Bruce was like before he became Batman. Hey Alex, what are you doing?
Well, I'm tracking down a crime. Why?
That was just one. So basically, and as Damien's about to leave, suddenly the monk that escorted him basically.
Oh God!
They noticed that there seemed to be like a large boom tube. That there seemed to be a sizable boom tube up there. And Damien at first was thinking, go with him, but then Monk's like, no, you have to leave now. Now, Damien reluctant, since he since they basically were like teaching him like how to open up and whatnot, since Damien's not a very open person. Ouch.
Well, I accidentally killed myself when I blew up the guy.
Oh, I saw that. And
I don't get any experience for that.
So the monks note it, and so the monks end up seeing that. And not only are there a bunch of parademon, and these are monks that are also metahuman, in some regard. Aren't keep in mind. And it's like there's a bunch of parademons, but they don't seem to be doing anything until the big bad Steppenwolf shows up, and he's like, "Where? Tell me, you were hiding one of the so-called Titans, weren't you?" They're like, "We don't know what you're talking about." Now they keep denying this to the very end, and then Steppenwolf and the parademons fight against the monks. Goes about as well as you'd expect for the monks. Like, for real, they may be metahumans, but they are not, you know, they may be metahuman martial artists, but they are not, you know...
The invincible Iron Fist? It's okay, neither is Iron Fist.
Hey, people will still complain that Iron Fist is a white guy, even though the original Iron Fist was a white guy.
I don't care that he was a white guy. I care that he was a guy who couldn't fucking fight.
Yeah.
Then again,
you could even be Iron Fist and still put up an actual fight in there.
Yeah. You know, that's actually not unique to Danny Rand in that show. Just about everybody in that show can't fucking fight. Guys can't even hold their swords right in that show.
Oh my god. And I swear. Or it's like... I gotta at one point see this travesty for myself just so I could get a clear idea as to how awful it is. I mean, I got one fight scene that gave me an idea of how bad the fights are done. Not a single consistent shot throughout these fights. They have to change camera angles every time someone throws a punch.
When the fight scenes from the original version of the show Kung Fu are more believable than yours, I think you might have a problem, buddy.
Indeed. And and then meanwhile, Damien, and knowing exactly what probably transpired in that temple.
Oh my god.
Oh, can't help but feel a little teary-eyed.
911, state your emergency, please.
And he felt like, what's the point of even opening up when all you're doing is just opening yourself to more pain?
Don't hurt me. I want to go home.
So yeah, you can kind of. So, yeah,
that guy deserves it.
You better send somebody to have a look.
Yeah, you can kind of imagine that.
Gonna need some help out here fast. Send the
that
cops.
Damien is going to be put through a lot in this. What got me thinking of this kind of idea was watching through the episode, season 2, episode 16 of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Appa's Lost Days, and that is such a depressing episode of the show. So Damien still has to continue his journey, since if he stayed, he would have probably been killed as well. Because let's be real, he's just a normie. Nope, we're at the halfway point of the game, guys.
All units, air support requested at 1. Suspect is on the run.
So what do you think so far, Alex? You know what this is going to finally end up culminating in?
Me getting caught by the cops?
Okay, besides that, but this whole, like, narrative thing with Damien and whatnot.
I think you said it was gonna be in, like, him basically becoming the new Batman?
Yeah, that. Well, that, yeah. Yes, but also the fact that... But also the fact it's like, after they finally reunite, defeat basically kill Steppenwolf and what... well, they don't actually end up killing him. And it's just they get the orbital defense up Steppenwolf will be all like shocked that he and his troops can't retreat, and they're pretty much getting screwed by the arrival of the Green Lantern. Earns that had to kind of recover and deliberate with the Guardians of Oa, because seriously, the Guardians can't do their job worth damn. So Hal, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, and John, along with Shira, who was also there since we established earlier, that Shira ended up having to go with Oa as they escaped Apocalypse.
Patrol car's been dispatched after the suspect.
It's like they arrive. They're basically destroying the Parademon army since Darkseid couldn't afford to send more Paradooms down there. And Steppenwolf, basically he puts his hands on either side of his head, and he's like, for the glory of Darkseid, before he does Darius's Harakiri from Mortal Kombat Deception. Because he'd rather die than be humiliated again by the Amazon and a bunch of teenage superheroes. Oh, and Alex, in case you're wondering where I got the red solar grenade idea from, it's from Injustice 2. So, like, in Batman's chapter in that game, which basically is supposed to be like that game's version of what happened in Arkham. Batman gets into a fight with Superman, and he pulls out a red solar grenade, which he drops onto the floor to dull Superman's powers to the point where Batman could realistically put up a fight.
What the hell? How did my car get fucked up like that? Okay.
I just saw that.
What the fuck? I got invaded by an online contract, and the guy just started blowing up my car.
Damn.
Ouch. So...
Okay, yeah, it's fucking personal now.
Yep, and speaking of personal, basically, one of the Paradooms that... A Paradoom that came to Earth... One of the Paradooms that came to Earth to basically mess things up ended up killing Deathstroke's ex-wife, and he is not too happy. He went into a bit of a blind rage, killed the Paradoom, but he ended up keeping a bit of a tissue sample for Sexy Lexi to analyze.
Now, if we could possibly get around to, hang on. I like to scan civilians to see if there's anything that they deserve to die for. If you noticed, I killed a Scientologist earlier.
Oh, wow.
In my playthrough on the Wii U, I also killed somebody who strangled puppies. Because they obviously deserved it. Yeah, vegan,
I'm sorry,
guys.
it's just...
I'm
sorry,
right.
I know I shouldn't be laughing at a lot of the crimes that these NPCs end up committing throughout this game, but I can't help but just find humor in the idea of you hacking into their smartphones and basically finding out what kind of crimes they committed just through that.
is.
Because tell me that in itself doesn't sound a little silly.
It does.
It does, but you gotta remember video games.
Yeah, I know.
What am I gonna do? Tell them, well, sweeties, Daddy is an asshole. No, I'm the bad guy.
So,
Me? It'd be easier if he died. Then maybe I could start being adored. Oh, sorry, I have to go.
so basically, so after Steppenwolf kind of bites it, Damien, and as he approaches
Sorry.
his dick, while Tim and the
That guy didn't even look both ways.
while everybody else kind of watches since neither of these two have seen each other in a while, and they have kind of like a brotherly relationship with each other. Or Dick is like, Damien's like in the bat suit. He's like, I look stupid, don't I? And Dick's like, oh, you look fine. And then Damien's like, it should have been you. Because, you know, during their time in... Because, you know, in this version, they're going to have the actual old Damien, Dick Grayson in bit. It's that they should have gotten in Batman versus... In Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, and Batman Bad Blood. And, you know, we were also promised, like, flashbacks in Batman Bad Blood about Dick's time with Bruce. But you know what's the only thing we got in that piece of crap film?
The death of his parents?
Just one line from Dick.
Oh.
Dick just says it was lonely to Catherine Kane, and that's it.
That's stupid.
It is stupid. It's asinine. And that's why that movie is a horrendous piece of crap. And then Dick kind of tells Damien that both he and Tim kind of wanted to establish their own identities, you know, like as Nightwing and Red Robin, respectively. Somehow you survived that.
Yeah, I don't really get how I did that.
No question, just accept it.
But I also don't get why I got damaged in the first place, so I guess it's even.
I suppose. So then Damien is like... and Dick's like... We all wanted to be our own people, but we both know that you wanted to be a Batman. And since Damien has developed in this version has developed better morals than, say, Jason, and whom in this version I would need to kind of would you want me to establish Jason, or should he just be dead?
You know what you've been talking about? I figure establishing him, I guess.
Maybe I should just place him like somewhere in Gotham where he would at first be up against Tim, and then the two would just kind of reconcile.
Yeah.
Also, basically, Jason's like with the Outsiders. I know, seems like a bit of a rush thing, but I've got way too many characters to work with, so...
Okay, now how do I get back?
And I'm going to probably spend quite a bit of time with Jason in any way. And Jason,
there we go.
and Jason even gave Damien some encouragement to put on the bat suit to basically be like, hey, look at it from this way. I still don't like my old man, but someone's got to be the Batman, and honestly, you're a better fit than I am. Because, you know, he's the type that he would that he would be totally besties with Frank and Castle, and then the two would just go to town on a whole bunch of mafia dudes with giant Gatling guns.
Somebody rewrote all of the dialogue from the Civil War comic, and you should really...
The original Civil War comic?
Yeah. You should really check out what happens when Frank shows up. You should check out the whole thing.
I probably am gonna at some point. So yeah, it's like Tim, Jason, and the Outsiders basically end up going around helping out whoever they can and whatnot. And then they end up giving Damien some encouragement to wear the bat suit.
A gang hideout, and the icon is an incredibly overweight woman.
Wow. Really? That seems hard to believe. So Damien... So when Damien approaches Dick... So then... And Dick's like, we all wanted to be our own people, but you wanted to be closer to Bruce?
I can call someone. Maybe I should call someone.
And Damien, and not sure, what the fuck is that shuffle? What is that? No, go back to that woman. Go back to that woman that you were chasing earlier.
I wasn't actually chasing her. I was just kind of running around.
Ooh. So
what are you looking at? What the fuck? Now look at that guy.
Damien not... So then Damien not sure of any sort of response he could give to Dick after everything he's been through. Oh, Dick's like, you look like you could use a hug. And Damien just kind of comes in for one. He's like,
the pedestrians are worse than I am. She has a brain tumor, but that doesn't give you the right to walk out in front of traffic like that.
Maybe she's just like how you've interpreted this character, or whenever he fails at something. You're like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Cowabunga!
What was that for? What was that parkour for? That was useless.
Bloom operator, you're on a secure line. Go ahead. Yeah, just like you said.
So Damien
out here.
and kind of lets out some tears, and it's supposed to be like a heartfelt reunion and whatnot. And after they're done, he's like, "You good now?" He's like,
"Hello.
Yeah.
I think I've lost a caller."
Batman isn't supposed to cry. And Dick's like, "Be your own Batman, just like I was."
Get out.
Basically, Dick is telling Damien, and obviously not literally being like how Dick was his Batman.
Oh my god!
And but be his own Batman. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like everybody's all united and whatnot. Not as a Justice League. They're all set with the defense, but then of course after like 6 months and a couple of days, Darkseid is starting to lose patience over how long before Batman's will save fails, or that Batman fails his will save. Because, holy crap, Batman has been on that chair for that long and he still is sane.
Well, this one's not getting away with it.
Can you honestly believe that?
Kind of.
Hey now, watch it.
But I'm sure... And then decides, like, perhaps maybe we should try a different approach. I'm just like, maybe we shouldn't just, you know, torture him physically. How about we try using mind games against him? And Darkseid's like, Desaad, there's a good reason why you're one of my best. And so Batman and Fatigue, getting worn out from the straight-up torture of the Mobius chair, barely has much mental defenses when Darkseid gets into his head and corrupts him.
Oops.
What?
I need to get a new car. I backed out of an open window.
So yeah, basically Desaad suggested after all of this physical torture, why don't we use mental mind games? You get what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they go, oh wait. So they basically go, into his... So Darkseid uses his mental prowess to basically pry into Batman's mind. I'm very much weak from the physical torture he went through. Oh, and now decides to use his memories against him. Including the fact that Talia basically date raped him to conceive Damian. Which that's a factor that does get brought up in the actual Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. But I kind of wanted it to actually expand a bit on this and basically have Darkseid actually go into his mind now that he's like physically weak and whatnot. But now I gotta ask, like, what do you make of that idea?
Which idea specifically?
Basically, the idea that after a while, Darkseid just kind of stops physically torturing him and starts mentally breaking him.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd probably be a pretty good idea.
And like I said, since he's been like physically tortured for so long, Batman doesn't really put up much of a fight when it comes to his mental defenses, because that was used to keep him sane from the 6 months of torture. So, like it or not, he is going to fail this will save. As much as you probably don't like the idea of Batman failing a will save, every mind has to give in at some point.
Yeah, that's better than just fucking around.
Yeah. Just being like, oh, like off screen, oh, Batman failed. I'm like, how long did it take him to fail? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's not like he's one of the most headstrong members of the Justice League or anything like that, no.
Yeah,
it's not
totally.
It's not like he's physically very capable. It's, oh, no, totally. He could totally be beat quickly like that.
Yeah. And let's not not forget the fact that I basically had him like bringing like the Helton Batsu and him getting already the crap kicked out of him by the Paradooms.
Go. Get it from the side. I got more bullets than you got time, buddy.
So essentially, it's like he's already been beaten and down, and then he gets his ass kicked even more, or by this torture, and now it's just what is there really left but to go into his head?
Oh, fuck you. I called I turned off reinforcements. I had him point blank. Why did the gun not fire? I was pressing the button. Or pulling the trigger, more like.
Maybe you didn't pull the devil trigger. And so after enough mental torture, Batman finally ends up giving it in, and he becomes Darkseid's knight. Since Darkseid did give him a choice to either be his pawn or his knight. Yes, I'm still going with that quote from Superman the Animated Series.
The hell is that?
Is that, to this day, is still one of the best portrayals of the character. Alex? Fran?
Yeah, I'm concentrating on...
What the fuck? Something over there?
Have you seen Darkseid and Superman the Animated Series? Because Alex, I think
I've seen clips, I think.
Oh, you've got to watch Superman the Animated Series, dude.
Yes.
By far, one of the best portrayals of the Big Blue Boy Scout. Oh, and it also has the iconic voice of Clancy Brown as Sexy Lexi.
No, because I'm evil.
That was a hilarious bit in Justice League Unlimited. Are you gonna wash your hands? No, because I'm evil. And remember, that's Flash as Lex Luthor in the context of that episode. Lex, you're losing it. If nothing else, I could at least learn the Flash's identity. Pulls off the mask, reveals Wally West, and he's like, I have no idea who this is.
He's over there. I saw him. Come on, now you're just being a
Yes,
bitch.
Lex is that self-centered enough to not care about the identity of one of the members of one of the founding members of that Justice League.
Yeah, because it's not Superman.
The only identities he seemed... Oh, and by the way, Alex, I also had played around with the idea of Lex Luthor knowing both Batman and Superman's secret identity is in this idea of mine. Because remember how in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is Lex somehow figured out who Batman and Superman were, but we don't actually get to see it?
We're in big trouble!
Well, we do kind of see him figuring out who Superman is. Because that's,
sure
that's the beginning of the movie.
But the thing is like, how does... We don't get to see him figure out who Batman was.
Yeah, that was probably part of the other hour of the film that was cut.
Dear Lord.
Thanks,
the more I'm learning about how much better this movie could have been, the more I'm just like, why?
Wait till you find out what they did to the Harry Potter movies. Oh wait, have you actually seen those?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen every single one of them.
Okay, imagine that, but worse.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because, like, let's see.
Or how do you say that? Or how do you say that in Spanish?
Ay, Dios mío.
Dios mío.
I thought in, Injustice 2 kind of gave us the interpretation of Jesucristo.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
I think Dios míos is, oh my god.
Yeah, that's what you're usually gonna hear.
Yeah, but I wasn't the one who said that. It was Alex who said that.
I know. Yeah, you'll freaking go for ay caramba for some damn reason.
Ay caramba.
Alright, Bart Simpson.
Hey.
So... the weird thing is, like... It's like I am genuinely surprised that any part of my writing is actually received somewhat well in terms of like how to go about certain things. Why? Because I would be used to the idea of rejection. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not used to the idea of actually like succeeding. Hence why I end up like constantly asking, "Hey, is this good? Is this good?" or whatnot. It's not that I mean to bother you about it all the damn time. It's just,
Look out! What is that? Gonna move on.
Oh, I didn't realize that was close to me.
So overall, in this whole shindig, what would you say is your favorite part of my attempt at doing Justice League Dark Apocalypse War?
The fact that it's not shit.
Okay, that's a given. But I'm like if you could isolate a singular moment in this whole shindig. Like, what would it be?
I don't know specifically.
Hey, anyone there?
I personally think every time someone does a choke slam, just because as I'm using that running gag.
Who is that? Hey, come out of there!
Because we've established that this is pretty much going to be a running gag for both of our stuff.
What?
Someone at some point is getting choke slammed and is going to do a choke slam. And meanwhile, Superman in your version of Injustice is like, why do I feel like other people are choke slamming? I'm the only one who gets to choke slam. I'm like, buddy.
Flush them out.
Ah, hell.
Ah. Should have known that was gonna happen.
I don't got Jack. I'll check over there.
He's not here. Must have run off. Don't let your guard down.
I'll check over there. Don't let him shake you off. Find him. Watch it! Are you okay?
And I do remember in the part 1 thing you said you said one on highlight was the big damn heroes moment where Shazam and the Atlanteans and the Amazons and Wonder Woman and whatnot show up and they kick all kinds of ass.
I'll see if he's still there. We're so out. Go! We're fucking screwed!
I forgot that was the primary red thing, damn it.
He's gonna take a look.
2 hours later.
Yep.
Oh, damn, where'd he go?
The hell are you go?
Go.
The fuck
Don't
are you
come
guys
back
shooting
till you
at?
got him. Find that fucking
and Desaad would basically like compliment and the fact that they were able to finally get at one of the biggest potential threats to them and on their side. And given the Mobius chairs and given in the intellect of the youth and given that the user would need the Mobius chair and given in the intelligence of Batman, he would definitely know what to do with the Mobius chair.
Don't see shit. I'll look over there. I got nothing here. Moving on.
So meanwhile, Granny Goodness is like, oh, dark side. And I have of my own.
I don't see him anymore.
Own special little treat for you.
Oh god.
And she
Hold it right there.
the quote and there's silhouettes version of each of the new Furies. I believe these will be quite. I believe these Furies may even surpass the previous.
Yeah, shoot that.
Perhaps, but oh, they could never surpass the previous in my heart.
Stay low. You want to get shot? Can't stay there forever.
Your guys are all dead, Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
Yeah, he looks like Joey Pants.
Metal Greymon was just like, which is like sliding along. I'm like, what were you doing, Greymon? Sorry. Ah, come on. Only one more level. Oh, but this one I don't need to wait another level for.
Yep.
Hello, Tiger Vespamon. How you doing over there, Fran?
Yeah, still hanging in.
Yeah, D digivolve you into Kuramon. Ay ay ay.
Wow.
Now Metal Guru. Now where Garurumon needs to have defense be around. On 120. All right, let's go.
Gotta get a car for me.
Yeah, I can get those.
You see what my Tiger Vespamon looks
Stay off
like?
the main roads as much as possible.
Look at this magnificent specimen. That is a mega level.
And get a move on.
I am getting a move on.
Yeah, damn, you're gonna freaking keep us here till like 2 in the morning.
Does a stand-up comedian who watches torture porn deserve a bullet in the back of the head?
No. No,
I'm sorry. Like I said, I know I shouldn't be laughing at half of this stuff, but every time Alex puts the suggestion of this type of stuff, I'm like,
yeah, that's not you laughing. That's you being flabbergasted.
flabbergasted and somehow laughing at the same time.
Okay, has the comedian committed any crimes? Yes or no?
Well, she frequently watches torture porn, so I don't know what that entails in
That's
this
not
game.
a crime. Hey, everybody's got their own kinks, so let it
I
be.
mean, it might be a crime depending on if the person in it is not.
If they agree to a
being
kiss or they enjoy it, there's a chance. There's a chance. Now, this isn't Saw. Alright, let's get that out the way.
You know what's also one good thing about virus-type Digimon, Alex? They have a lot more equipment.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I have to get this bike from somewhere to somewhere else without smashing it. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, what do you expect?
I really want.
Why do you need me to take a bike less than 1,000 feet?
That's a few.
Well, technically that's 1,000 meters. It's over 1,000 meters. It's slightly over 1,000 meters.
The minute I see a memory up, I'm just gonna use it because there's no reason why it should stick around in my inventory.
Yep.
This isn't like other. This wouldn't be like other RPGs where it would be beneficial to save all this stuff and then just use it.
And I have to get it there in a time limit. That's fantastic, guys.
Fantastic game design.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
10 out of 10. Best game of the year.
Yes, because it totally makes sense that time would expire on me delivering a motorcycle within like a minute. I have to get there within like a minute or 2 minutes or whatever.
Let's see. I'm just kind of scanning these so that I can just look them over if I missed anything.
Civilian killed because I barely even touched them. That's...
Let's see. Blue top up left.
Okay.
Blue top left. Yellow top right. green in bottom right. Hold on. Or maybe, hold on. Green, top left. Blue, top right.
I was on top of the objective
Yellow,
marker.
bottom left.
Simple, don't use purple. Do not
And
use
green,
purple.
bottom right.
Yep.
I was literally on top of the objective marker.
Would you say that you were on top of things?
Yes.
Oh. Well, it comes from our web.
Ouch. So I'm literally only using in green, blue, and yellow.
Yep.
So then why is purple here?
That's to throw you off.
No, purple wanted to feel special.
It's just to make you think you have to put it somewhere, but nope. It's just there's a red herring.
And then purple feels sad. And suddenly you hear that song that you sent me via text message.
And that's why Waluigi is not playable in Smash.
Because he loses at Super Mario Party.
Yes.
Oh, come on! Even when he's defender, or where Garurumon doesn't gain any deep points in defense.
Dude, it does, dude, that personality doesn't okay, you're using that personality trait wrong. It doesn't affect in battle. It's when they're training on the island.
Why am I not surprised?
That's how the personality works. It doesn't affect your training.
Why am I not surprised that this was a factor I completely overlooked?
Yeah.
I may
Yeah,
have to...
when
yes, I realized that.
It only works when you put them training on the island that they're in.
Okay, thank you for informing me. I'll probably place where Garurumon on the island when.
Yeah, you're gonna do that, and freaking re-raise it's camaraderie.
Actually, it's camaraderie is max.
Yeah, but if you're like me, you use the freaking the course that takes 30 minutes. It's gonna that darn thing is gonna go down.
Alright, duh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, Oh, you know, some people were wondering, like, where were synchro summons in Zexal, and I'm like, I'm sorry, is this 5Ds? Because if not, then get your synchro summons out of here.
Oh wait, that happened at 5D.
Screw you, I was on top of the objective, Parker.
I heard that. But one in a good spot for it to recognize that you're on the mark.
Ay, man, old Greymon, you need to get up there in levels. Hell, Taomon's probably gonna turn into Sakuyamon before you get to be War Greymon.
This is why I make sure I put the playing Supermon or playing Supermon in my party.
You know, it's interesting how the Yu-Gi-Oh manga doesn't really, you know, doesn't really censor a lot of things, despite it being the English release of the manga.
There's a manga.
You know, the Zexal manga, English manga, uses the original Japanese names. Which, I have to admit, that is a little surreal, if you ask me. Because I'm like, a Yu-Gi-Oh manga that uses the original Japanese names.
Well, the,
Ever since the original English release of the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! And Duel Monsters.
Yeah, they all do.
No.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, they do. What are you talking about?
Why is the English release of GX use Jaden?
Oh, I haven't read the GX manga. That's why.
I was talking... The only manga, as far as I know, that uses the original Japanese name naming conventions are the original and Duel Monsters, as well as Zexal.
I was within spitting distance of that.
That was a waste. I just witnessed Talmon missing Leomon, even though he was 3 feet in front of her.
Dude, that doesn't mean anything. You still miss.
You missed! How could you miss? He was standing 3 feet in front of you! How many of us have seen Mulan?
No.
You haven't?
Sadly, no.
Oh, dear. We may have to fix that one day.
Yeah, you can say we need to get down to business.
To defeat the Huns?
Did they send a daughter when I asked
for sons? You're the saddest bunch I ever met. But you can bet before we're through, Mr. I'll
make
a man out of you.
Did you know that Donny Osmond originally auditioned for the role of Shang?
Yeah, I'm not
Did he?
surprised.
Yeah.
That makes sense. By the way, speaking of which, here's Platinum Sukamon. He's dead.
Yeah, a freaking rare, who by the way is a rare encounter over there.
Yep.
But, yeah, Pete's dead because, and if this is actor's memory, you would have one-shotted him because, goddamn, he doesn't have health for damn.
Oh, yeah.
He's got max defense, but goddamn, he's got freaking Shedinja.
Yep, it's Wonder Guard all over again.
So I gotta.
You don't need to freaking hit his weakness to be able to damage.
So what did you got, Alex?
I gotta give a critique here. You shouldn't have to cancel out the objective marker, or the destination marker, before you can place another one. It doesn't make any sense. You should just be able to hit X on a new spot on the map and have it work.
You know, every time I think about a certain card in Yu-Gi-Oh, I always have to wonder...
What does it do?
About... Yes.
Oh, okay, because that we're gonna bring up Go for the Lightning. Fuck.
No, it's not. By the way, Fran, you will have to explain Guilford the Lightning and why you're so spiteful towards Guilford the Lightning.
All kinds of numbnuts over here use Guilford the Lightning to affect out there.
I basically want to duel using in Guilford the Lightning's special ability of you sacrifice him by summoning by using 3 monsters. He destroys every monster on the field.
Yeah, if you tribute 3 monsters.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's what you meant. It made it sound like you sacrificed him after.
No, that would be dumb.
That's the way you said it.
Okay, Nokia.
Alright, Nokia, stop dropping your signal.
The data flows are split. There must be 2 CTOS boxes.
Alright, now get in the fucking bag.
You want to know something interesting?
What, you're able to fit Warp Greymon in the fucking bag?
They actually made a updated in the PS4 release of Digimon World Next Order. They basically upped a lot of the visuals from the original Vita release because they figured, you know what? Since we're releasing the updated version we're releasing the PS4 version overseas, we might as well update the visuals.
Yep. Might as well.
Let me update my party a little. Let me heal up. Hopefully the recording won't pause.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, I know. Alright. Let us now go kick the collective ass of Zaxxon, whom we were helping in an earlier case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and if we were playing the, and in the guiding game, and we basically witnessed, like, halfway through this whole shindig. So Alex, basically part 3 would be kind of in terms of like structure would be somewhat similar to what we get for the majority of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, but it would essentially be like they go to find John Constantine because they kind of want to rally up some magic users, him, Etrigan, and Black Orchid. For this whole invasion thing. And since it's like Darkseid seems to be planning any bit of a big invasion force that could potentially take out the orbital defense. Which... Oh, great, Nokia's here with her posse. You know, we were gonna have an interesting tag team battle. All against these two.
What the hell is this?
Oh, but no.
Bellwether.
But no, let me fight their leader while you guys fight at the minions and Faye. Who gets some expansion in Hacker's memory, but...
Yeah.
I knew you'd find me. You always were one for a mystery.
Here's our
You
first
go, your
illogical
Digimon is a
betrayal.
virus. You go, your Digimon is a virus type. I'm mega level. I think we kind of have you beat.
We need to
Yeah, it
talk.
could be worse.
And you'll want to be quick. Breaking in
Like
you
if this,
did
like
turns
if I
it on.
had Wargreymon and Metal
This is what I have
Garurumon,
planned for us.
he would not stand a
But we're about
snowball's
to be
chance in
interrupted.
hell.
Come find me.
Like I said, it could be worse.
Someplace nice.
Oh yeah.
That's my sister.
Take two
Haven't
guesses.
spoken since
Royal Knights or Demon Lords?
what?
Nah, I mean like what she Digimon can digivolve to.
Oh yeah.
Looks like there's a new target for all you hitters out there. Drop what
Yeah,
you're doing and get on
Yeah,
it.
pick your poison on that one.
So tell me, Fran, why do you get the pizza while I get the crust?
Because you do.
Not a lot of people are gonna get that joke unless they've seen the dub of Adventure 1. Basically, the big bad final Digimon, an Apocalypse, is like I try to make himself seem like this tragic villain, and at one point he even said as like, why do you get the pizza while I get the crust? I can't make that up if I tried.
Oh yeah.
And yes, it is about as dumb as it sounds. Oh no, you hurt my vaccine type Digimon so much.
Insert sarcasm here.
Oh, now he actually looks like he might pose a threat.
Oh, now he does?
He used this ability called Log On.
Drive into him. Do it.
The fuck? What did I run into?
What didn't you run into? That's the better question.
Indeed. Up, he's overheated. So now his attack is down and his defense is down.
Yep.
So we go full ham.
Attack his ass.
Surround him, fire at his legs. It's a reference to Ben Creighton's Gantz Bridge, where basically they were at the point in the series where they were fighting like this giant, like this set of giant and alien Buddha statues, and one of them had the bright idea of surrounding one of them and firing at its legs. But then the thing jumped, and they were like, "Oh, our weapons aren't working," and he keeps repeating the suggestion of surrounding him and firing at its legs. To which I'd be like, "Dude, these guns lag like hell. Why don't we, aim for a higher part that we could probably hit?" For context, the regular guns in Gantz that basically blows up the enemy has a bit of a delay before it actually hits something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're that unreliable.
So it's telling me that they're unreliable even before. So.
Yep. Ouch. Poor Machine Dramon. He is getting wrecked here. Ooh! Ooh, I just got a critical.
Don't see him.
There you go.
Target's gone.
Boosh! He's dead. That's a disappointing amount of experience. Hey, at least Talmon leveled up.
And I'm getting away in the bad guy's car.
And I ran so far away.
How the hell did he manage to shake us off?
I ran all night and day. I couldn't get it away.
Let's talk.
So meanwhile, Nokia is fighting against Faye.
And she's doing about as well as you would expect.
Oh, reveal that Yugo may actually be a girl.
What gave that away?
Faye accidentally gave away a certain twist that we'll be seeing later. So now we fight a partially scripted battle against Faye with her 3 Digimon, which are Tiger Vespamon, Hoomon, and Sakuyamon.
Yep.
A clever boy. Drinks aren't ready.
Damn.
Tell me you miss me.
You had that punk call my sister. Why am I here, Dave?
You're so grim.
I say partially scripted because even if you...
God.
Because you're not winning
I
this
want my
battle.
partner back.
Yeah, you're supposed to do a certain amount
You
of damage.
in the field doing the manly work.
You're gonna...
I'm here to help you. We both want the same things. Answers? Who attacked us? And I happen to know that you've hit a wall.
You couldn't have just called me.
I come bearing glad tidings.
No.
Couldn't have,
They
you
had to make
to-
it... They had to make it difficult for you.
And to make it
Merlot was your fucking
overly convoluted.
You bailed on a perfectly good scheme. No one would have found out if you just stood by me.
Ouch. We're getting royally fucked here.
Because you went too far.
Oh, you're adorable. Blaming your family problems on me.
Oh, come
Blaming
on,
us
that's
for
not
lying,
fair.
and angry. What about me?
What about you?
You're not the only one suffering.
Yeah, what do you
You
expect?
made me
He had...
criminal. Took everything from me.
I know.
Don't you see?
That's expect too much.
No.
You couldn't have just asked me.
Oh, by the way, we're about to see something epic.
There was a second hacker, and I know how to find it.
And that may be, Damien.
War Greymon and Metal Garurumon
You need
merging together to become
The problem is,
a badass mecha.
Don't walk away.
Yep.
This is the lead.
thanks for the tip.
Together, the two form.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
That is Omnimon, one of the most powerful members of the Royal Knights.
Taught me how to ferret out weak code and exploit it. But I taught him how to do the same without a computer. People can be more vulnerable than their systems. We were a strong team. After Lena, I was done with him. Didn't waste time thinking about him.
And yes, since this game is voiced in the Japanese version,
I need to know
the subtitles say Omnimon, but the Japanese version says Omegamon.
Yep.
Oh, and since Omnimon is pretty OP, he's gonna be wrecking some shit. Oh no, that hurts me so much.
Oh no, the sarcasm.
All I literally have to do is this one move. I basically have access to the I win button.
More or less.
Don't tell me. It's not a spoiler. I promise. It's so good.
One of the most powerful members of the Royal Knights. That's what it is.
It isn't. A bunch of other stuff happens too. It's a good movie. You should see it. Sure, yeah.
Roger Doherty. I don't
Oh
remember
god,
that name.
Kishibe's here. Ah, eaters. Wow. Everybody gets tentacled here.
Yep.
And meanwhile, and while all this is going on in Hacker's memory, one of our buddies ended up getting too close to that center right there, and let's just say his Digimon ended up becoming worse for wear. Yep, the world is affected by the digital waves. We're in the second half of the game, all right.
Disappear. I'm happy to oblige.
Which, by the way, this is when the game kind of goes into plot revolving around the Royal Knights. You guys get what I mean, right? Fran obviously does, but Alex, I'm not sure you don't. You would probably figure what the Royal Knights are.
Knights of the Round Table.
Kinda. There are 13 Knight-themed Digimon, who basically kind of maintain order, but a lot of them are under the rule of this AI named Yggdrasil.
Time to bang him up!
Now we gotta fight some eaters.
I'm gonna ram the bastard!
Because one wasn't enough. No, we gotta fight two.
Grab some men. We can't let this guy get away. You got it. Keep at him. We need all the help we can get.
But at this point, since they're the literal basic egg eaters, they're easy. Ouch.
Let's force him out. Fucker's got a gun.
Pew, 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 pew.
Come on, come on! My car's fucked! Keep looking.
Omnimon, we could use some help down here. It's almost like the one with black hair is the actual Yugo, while the white-haired one isn't.
Oh my god, you're being so damn transparent with the way you're talking right now.
Yep. And Yugo logged out.
Yep.
Meanwhile...
Well, at the source of the log out.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away...
Underground, if you will.
Meanwhile, at the Hole of Justice...
Alright, everyone. These Saiyans look like they're going to pose a real threat, but we can't take them out alone. Batman, what do you think? Well, I think... I have an idea! Oh, God, no, it's Aquaman. Come on, guys! We could use whales! Whale! Someone, get him out of here. But what about the whales?
I sunk their battleship and their whales.
No! Lanny's Aquaman is super easy to do.
It's basically Krillin, but whinier.
And to think Firestorm was also in that room. So yeah, part 2 of the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War would end with basically, like, the heroes accomplished their goals, but they kind of lost a few guys, including Starfire, or because of Steppenwolf, since he was the focus villain in this one. Oh great, now I'm back in Nakano. Or, I'm sorry, no, not Nakano, I think I'm in Shibuya. Oh, shit. Okay. Right. So meanwhile... Yeah, a lot of guys got taken out today.
Take me out of the life form.
Wow, Nokia, really?
Gonna need a hand! On it!
So basically, Omnimon is here because we need to...
He's got a gun.
Here because we need to save the day before the Eaters basically destroy everything.
There! He thought he lost us.
Look at the TV. In other news, water is wet, the sky is blue, and people die when they are killed. Now back to you, Awesome Movie. John, you would not believe what I am witnessing right now. What are you witnessing? In correspondent Asif Manvi. Well, as you can see, a bunch of Eaters are taking over the world, and many citizens have been tentacled. Back to you, John. I have no idea what John from The Daily Show is supposed to sound like.
You know, I can hear both of their voices in my head. I can't do either of their voices, but I can hear them in my head, and I know that you were not doing anywhere near close to their voices.
I figured not. Like, I could do a good impression of Asif Manvi.
Okay, have you seen The Last Airbender?
Gotcha.
I've had that displeasure, yes.
Okay, he was in that, I think.
Yes, he was Admiral Zhao.
Yeah.
By the way, Admiral Zhao in the actual TV show is voiced by Jason Isaacs.
The, none other than one of the most evil men in the entire wizarding world.
And also the villain in The Patriot.
And also, the, villain in Star Trek Discovery. We try to forget about that one.
Alright, so I'm going to Digivolve Taomon and Sakuyamon, then we're gonna end the stream there. Let's see. Is there any more I could do? No.
Fuck.
Why was somebody writing Aiden Pierce's name on the screen of the security camera?
This looks
Who
like room surveillance.
knows?
Are they actually monitoring private homes?
That wasn't a private home, that was clearly a school.
In a romantic comedy, the elevator would break down and we'd fall in love.
In a porn, we fuck like gorillas. If the elevator broke down, obviously. Come on, up top.
Just adding
No?
another island.
Alright.
Is this guy high?
Who knows? I'm just kind of doing some things for setup. Let's see. Alright. So I'm just gonna save for now. And we'll call it a night.
Yep.
And I got done, so I'm gonna call it a night.
Alright. So I'll probably talk to you guys next week for Injustice 1, and hopefully we'll be able to do online matches after I'm done with the story mode.
Yeah.
Night, y'all.
Alright.
Night. See you later.